What better way to start your weekend off right? This is going to be week number 2, day 2 for Division S here for Street Fighter League Pro Japan. My name is Vicious here with Seikola, and this is going to be so unpredictable, as it will be for the rest of the weeks, right? Going into it, we have our matches settled in between team match number 1, 2, all the way down to 3. But no matter how you spin it, it's going to be so unpredictable yet so exciting. Seikola, what do you have for us today?
Well, I hope what we have is some Sagat. I want to see what Sagat got. There are 2 Sagat players sitting, waiting, possibly ready to play those characters, but we'll have to see if that even happens. Either which way, it's going to be some fantastic action, no matter how you slice it. It's been fantastic all the way up to this point. Street Fighter League is never disappointed. And again, people, once again, every single season, this is the place for Street Fighter 6 at the highest level, the highest meta, if you feel me. We are returning back to the 2 divisions, again, S and F. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. Or this season, we are doing something a little bit different. Excuse me. We have 12 teams. We go back to the round robin league format. That's 6 teams per division, of course. We have the home and away sides. Those return. Those are obviously going to be the things that we're going to be utilizing here. The away side going to be calling their order up first, and their characters up first, and the away or the home side, excuse me, second after that. That gives the home side a slight advantage, but we've seen that not always matter. The home side has sometimes fallen and faltered despite having that little bit of a buff. Now, we're gonna have the first to two, and then first to 3 for the matches, and then if need be, here's that new piece, the extra match, which is now first to 2. And on top of that, that 4th person that you put on the bench will have to actually fight it out. So no bench warming, no sitting in the backpack. You gotta fight it out with the rest of us, all right? So it's unpredictable in terms of who's gonna be able to come up. If your team can't get it done, that last person will have to clinch it out. We've already seen that happen. Shouts out to Tagaki, who has been one of the most standout stars already on that Blanca. You know, beyond that, though, if the extra game is not going to be available, if that person's not available, then they do not get that point, unfortunately. Another new rule is that we've added is that if you call for a timeout, you only get 1 per match. So if you lose, you get a timeout, you only get 1, so you better make it count. This all leads up to the finale, of course. The top 3 teams of each division will proceed towards the playoffs, and the top 2 teams of those will proceed towards the grand finals for some of the best action we've seen thus far. Man, and they're playing not just for the qualification towards, obviously, Capcom Cup to fight the other teams. What else are they playing for, Vicious?
A lot of money on the line. I mean, obviously, we talk about the pride and prestige of being hailed champion of Japan, but as we get into it, we will definitely reveal that number even further on, right? This is what the format's going to be looking like, right? You have to get used to it when it comes to the home and the away rules. I know you guys do ask about it in the chat, and we will gladly talk to you guys about it as we are 100% live, right? We have been interacting with the chat these last couple of weeks, last couple of days, I should say. So feel free to ask a lot of the questions. If you want to hit us up on Twitter as well, we are definitely open to those lines of communication. However, I will say this, when it comes to the hot and heavy action, we may not be able to answer on time, right? There's going to be a lot of focusing on the matchups, but when it comes to getting the matchup spread in regards to like who's going to be picking what character order, we will more than likely be able to answer those questions going forward. Now, we talked about those 2 divisions, right? We've had a lot of people kind of asking about like, hey, is my GOAT going to be playing today? Most likely, your way to kind of check is over on Wikipedia for a lot of like the English translations of the teams and also the players. I know that they've been doing a really great job of showing off Street Fighter League Pro Japan for the last couple of years. You can find the full-on schedule there. If you guys do exclamation mark schedule, I'll try to do my best and put out the schedule for that. But we do want to make sure that the prize is shown off. 15 million yen on the line this time. And man, that is a huge difference in comparison to last year. First, getting 9 million yen in their pocket. Second, getting 4 million yen. And third, with $1 million in their pocket as well. Still a half the amount of money. And also with the big support coming in from all of our sponsors, Tayo Holdings, Suzuki, Galleria, the official PC sponsor of Street Fighter League Japan, Punk Workshop, as well as Red Bull. And then, of course, throwing it down with us, right? Varmilo has actually been doing a great job of showcasing a lot of their peripherals. These last couple of events, they were over at EVO Las Vegas, showcasing it to a lot of the pro players there, and finally bringing it to the States is exactly what needed to be done. They're bringing it back to Japan with a lot more of their upgraded stuff. You will see that from time to time in between. You actually see it right in the middle as these guys crack open the Red Bulls. We got Frida and Hamiko on the desk this time around for Division S Day 2. I love these guys, by the way. So, yeah, again, big shout out to all of our sponsors that have been throwing it down each and every time, each and every season of Street Fighter League Japan.
Yeah, big support to all the people out there that are supporting Street Fighter League Japan. We've seen how the references out there, just in general, you see it on Twitter, especially when a player wins, or even when they lose. People go into their Twitters or their Twitches to give them support or accolades and things like that. It's just great to see all the love for the players. It feels once again like a sporting event, and it's great that y'all make it such a big thing. And there's also more awards beyond that. Speaking of awards, we got them up on the screen. We got the grand final MVP. One player from the grand finalist team will be awarded that one. And we'll also get a division MVP, or one player per each division. We'll also have Rookie of the Year award, the Drive Gauge Efficiency Award, which is who spends the most during the matches, and of course, your favorite, my favorite, everybody's favorite, the Drive Impact Award, who's been hitting the DIs continuously. Those award winners will be winning 50,000 yen each. That is quite a lot of money to hit the DIs.
That's pretty damn good, actually. Being able to get the Uncheck Award, that is a good extra incentive. I also forgot to mention that a 50K supplementary prize will be given to the champion team players to kind of add on to that. So I did do the miscalculation just a little bit, but it should in total get to 15 mil. But we do want to talk about our ambassadors for this season, right? The VSPO VTuber group. They'll be interviewing our winning team after every match, so please look forward to all of their energy and efforts throughout the season. We do have most of the time some of the questions coming in from like our hosts or some of our commentators too, but VSPO has actually been doing a great job of also lending their energy towards some of the interviews as well. So big ambassador time. I want to say it's cool to see the VTuber community come out in full support, and as they've pretty much done since the beginning of Street Fighter 6. So really happy to see a lot more people coming over to our side and pretty much spreading the love and awareness of Street Fighter 6, right?
Super nice to see people engaging in the streets, playing fighting games, and seeing why we have so much fun with it. It's not even about like, oh, I'm trying to be the best. It's trying to be like accomplishing like small goals and things like that. If you want to see more of what's going down in the land of Street Fighter, you can check out the official Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. You can do the hashtag SF. It'll come up actually with the you know, lettering right there. I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna lie to you, but you can actually do that on Twitter and it'll just pop it up there for you. So you can check out what's going on with the players and things like that. You can also see some of the artwork that's been going on, which has been ridiculous for some of the players and the characters. So you can see the love that is out there for Street Fighter in land Japan. Now it's all about the battle coming up. We got a lot of good action. Nagoya NTPOJA versus Victrix Fabu Gaming. It's gonna be the very first match. Fabu Gaming looking a lot better, a lot more informative, a lot more cohesive as a team, but you can see the same for Nagoya NTPOJA, who also has some devious cats on their side of things as well. We're gonna get in that team intro real quick here in a second, but man, it's been good to see also the variety of the characters. A lot of Chun-Li too as well on the Victrix Fabu Gaming side of things, which is a character that I didn't expect to see much of, and I'm glad people are starting to believe back in her, considering she's gotten buffs and they're starting to see the sauce with her, Fujimura especially.
Yeah, no doubt, right? I think one of the biggest questions right now is to see how exactly this team is going to pretty much bring themselves together. I'm actually kind of curious to see like how the rest of the matchups go. It's been kind of unpredictable, I feel like. Like CAG OSAKA, always going to be a solid team. Good 8 squad. They're obviously the reigning champs. Crazy Raccoon and then Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto. It's going to be so unpredictable. But right now, let's focus on the first team up on deck in our very first matchup. It's going to be Nagoya NTPOJA with Mochi starting things off. The Daredevil bounty hunter, no matter what game he's in, he's always going to be on that hunt. Followed by Toyama's talent, Otani, with the Ken play still, by the way, keeping it mad consistent. Hopefully he doesn't have the same fate as yesterday. Seiya coming in on his debut for Street Fighter League Pro Japan with that Chun-Li, the Kung Fu fanatic, and it makes sense. Then, of course, bringing down the hammer, the artist formerly known as Banbaban. It's KB with that my pick. Also, with the Bison, just in case it's needed. But his Mai looking pretty damn good, as you saw it from day one.
It better be damn good out here, because you're fighting the Victrix Fabu Gaming, who has something to prove. Didn't have the season they had last year. They're coming back in full force. Sako looking way more informed. Found some characters for him. Fujimura found the cheapest with the Chun-Li. And Moke, of course, having the Mai and the combination with the legs off the Chun-Li. And then lastly, Ryukichi having a Ken and a Mai on his side of things. A deadly team that has some similar characters, but different styles that you have to get used to. This team is one I'm looking forward to seeing do work out here in Street Fighter League. Let's take a look at them and get their introductions going and flowing. Victrix Gaming, home side. We're starting it off with the God hard math. He's doing hard time out here. Ryukichi gonna put you in jail. No bail out here with that Ken and that Mai. After that's going to be the hero of Sunrise, Moke. As we mentioned, on the Chun-Li and Mai, you have to be putting on the matchups that he needs. But I feel like that Chun-Li is just fine. After that, it's the Grave Maker. He digs the graves for you. It's going to be Fujimura on the Chun-Li. And last but definitely not least, the oldest in the business, but still able to make it happen. The strongest spear leading the charge for Victrix Gaming. It's Kazunoko. He's got the Elena and he's got the Aki. This man is a mastery of many characters that you don't typically see. Having the Aki and the Elena, especially the Elena, is not a pick that you get used to. Oh, they're already
I agree with that.
Sako's doing the pose too. Damn.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I definitely agree with that sentiment too. I think that's one of the stronger aspects of Sakonoko, like not just the execution, but him being able to pick up characters so quickly, especially when they come out. When it comes to like figuring out how characters work, Sakonoko is definitely one of the biggest people to follow. I know like Goichi does a great job of it as well. A handful of different players definitely follow suit when it comes to like tracking down which DLC is good, right? But Sako just does it in such a fantastic way. He actually had 2-0 game advantage over Kobon's Zangief. So you already know he's well versed in that Elena. Will we see it today? Perhaps, but this is what the order is going to be for Nagoya NTPOJA. I like this a lot. Seiya starting off strong with the Chun-Li, Mochi with the Akuma, KB with Mai, and then Otani on the reserve with Ken.
I like this for KB to be in that anchor position. As you mentioned, he can switch off the Bison if need be. He's got the Mai to start things off. Mochi also with the Akuma to kind of stave off the Chun-Li's. That's a blessing and a curse. Having so many, people playing the same character on your squad means that you're susceptible to the counter pick, and that is still going to be Akuma. Like, he still does really well against that character. So having Mochi in that second place position is really good. And Seiya has been running Chun-Li since she was good back. Doesn't even care. He has been a Kung Fu master of that character for a long time. And it's going to be Fujimura stepping up to the plate. I'm very surprised. He's going to be pulling out the Mai. There's no mirror match out here. It's all about the fans. He's not going to go for the mirror match pick, which I think is okay, because I feel like there's been more time for Seiya to play this character than not. So go with a different character, and I think that Mai can obviously keep up pace with Chun-Li.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the current matrix of the characters being played and the characters that you kind of like practice against, right? You have Fujimura, Moke, Ryukichi. That lineup is Chun-Li, Mai, and Ken. You look at the character roster on Nagoya NTPOJA, same type of matrix, right? You have Mai, Chun-Li, Ken, and I guess the outlier would be Akuma, right? I think Sakonoko kind of covers that spread just in case with Akuma, but what's kind of dangerous is where Sakonoko's going to be. I think it's really important to note. He might end up being either the anchor or the support with the second matchup just to solidify 10 points and prevent the tiebreaker from happening. So having Aki and Elena might just be the slight advantage that Victrix Gaming needs to pull it out for the W as a team match, right? As for like the team matchup. But we'll see how that plays out, right? Fujimura having both Chun-Li and Mai on deck, pretty important. But being on the home team is what really pulls that advantage to fruition for a lot of players, right? You saw day one, 2 out of the 3 team matches ended up being in favor of the home team side. Same applied for Division F. So as much as that doesn't really like matter towards like the long run of it as players adapt, as of last week, it definitely does matter. So we'll see how this plays out going forward.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Seiya is able to do. We saw him, I believe, be one of the better ones at perfect pairing like the fans, the OD fans, and even the normal fans during Topanga League. So he obviously has the defense on the deck against his character. He knows what to do. He has the ingrained matchup knowledge on how to fight Mai. So that's something that we saw prior. How is it going to happen against Fujimura, who is going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with, who might be drive rushing? And with buttons instead of just throwing out fans continuously, he might vary up his offensive approach. Seiya, though, does say in his interview, I will do my best to win again. We all know my opponent is strong. And Fujimura is one of those cats that it's hard to find out what he's doing. His CFN does tell some of the story, but he doesn't stream as much. He's not really out there in terms of tournaments as much. He really focuses on League more often than most things. And Seiya also says it'll be a battle of how much I don't make mistakes. That is such a fighting game thing. How much I do not make mistakes. I think it was Justin Wong that said, yeah, hit them more than they hit you and don't get hit. That's a very simple game plan, but you can derive a lot from that.
That's the typical Justin Wong answer too. When you ask him for advice, he'll keep it very straightforward.
Yeah.
I will say, if he is watching this, he has gotten a lot more detail. I got reamed about that over at the Florida house. I will say, his advice has gotten better and better, but you hit the nail on the head, St. Cola. That's pretty much the gist of it. To be a little bit more specific, Fujimura is not going to let a lot of these whiffed normals fly, right? I think he's pretty adamant about getting whiff punishes on deck for a lot of the slower normals. It's really up to Seiya to figure out whether or not to use Fujimura's reactions to his advantage, right? I think Chun-Li's walk speed is very important in this matchup to kind of bait those kind of reactions out. Could do a couple of lights to bait that out, but more importantly, I think Fireballs being able to follow behind it is going to be what kind of deters Mai's approach. But if you're within range, you get the low forward. Game number 1, Fujimura versus Seiya. Fujimura with the big opener already with the low medium kick. This is going to be ever important, right? Mai already with the lockdown could spell a lot of problems for Seiya.
Yeah, with more bar too as well. Being able to harass continuously up in the corner. Let's take a look at the counter combo. It's with the fireball to kill a little bit more of that drive gauge, but already we're seeing Seiya being able to perfect parry. Because Fujimura also said a similar thing. He was like, I better be perfect parrying every damn move that I see. And right now, he's got Seiya in the burnout and caught up in the corner with the level 1, the enhancement with the fans. Cross-cut deep, you can't leave for free. Pay the toll. Turning for the back door, we tech that, get some bar back. A little bit of drive gauge as well.
Yeah.
Oh, too short.
You got a little bit of terrace on that too. It's wild because you do have a little bit of that aura coming in from Mai, right? You have the enhancement, you still have 4 stock in. Not gonna really throw a fireball just yet is Fujimura. He's kind of sitting on that for a little bit and not within the threat of getting the DI, or so I thought. The uncheck from that far away. Fujimura didn't think he was gonna touch the wall, but not too bad to take it, right? The life lead still in advantage for Fujimura up until this point. A couple of lights backing away is Seiya, knocking on the door down below. Oh, the uppercut punish counter. Fujimura, he still gets opened up. A slight change of pace from Seiya. Level 2 incoming. What a way to thread the needle past the approach.
You gotta be kidding me. Wasn't even counter hit. Waited. Wasn't even getting a counter hit combo or whatever it may be, or whip punishing. Just found the proper timing off the button. Not falling into any sort of shimmy at all. Fujimura puts him up in the corner though. Back rise still right there, nice and close. Again, waiting for the reversal buttons. Hella delayed on those two as well with the jab. For the counter combo, air legs, blocks it out. Hold the throw. Dash up, yeah, I like that. Dash up, block it out, see what he's doing. Get a little bit of data on him.
And it's so tough to even challenge that, right? Standing medium punch for the charged fans. You'd have to really be on point. Speaking of which, yeah, at least he got the block on the overhead, but the throws are what's really killing Seiya. OD Tencho. It's just a matter of time before the big bust out. Fujimura no longer allowed to bully in the corner for now. No response to the fans yet. No appropriate one at least.
Yeah, Seiya's been pretty good like round start. He got the perfect parry. But right now, looking a little bit harder to do so. I think there's a lot of variance in terms of like the normals that are coming through. We bust up with the ODDP. However, that's a lot of bar wasted right now. Just get some distance. Get this whip. Does he get to the second hit? It's a pickup. Oh, you better sit him down with that Sultan. The CA dump out the damage. The handshake of doom.
Damn, she looks good at doing it too. The Sultan of swag. I'll tell you what, Seiya calculating correctly with that last exchange, right? He was just about 2 bars over and still managed to get that final hit into the drive rush cancel. Perfect calculation from Seiya while maintaining that critical art. That was actually the best scenario for Seiya to close it out.
What's wild is that, like, back when her 4-meter punch was like powerful confirmable, he was 100% on it. Even right now, he's still pretty damn good. Did get the perfect parry there, but no proper follow, but that's fine. As more he could tweak the drive gauge, the better. Oh, weird interaction. You know what? That could have been way worse on both sides. Fujimura goes in, gets the Oki after this. Charge up thing, he doesn't get aggressive. He actually charged up the fan. A lot of my players right there will get active and dash up, take their Oki.
And it makes a lot of sense to do so. Excuse me. Fujimura no longer maintaining that positioning nor the pressure, but the dash back fierce, managing to get the punish counter into the level 2. Yeah, you had to spend it, right? Very expensive, had a large life lead, but Seiya's already made that comeback before. He wants to make sure that Grave is settled in for Seiya's Chun-Li.
Doug, this just for you. Oh, OD Fireball, the jump fierce, and these lights right after the check and walking back. Not the best in the business. They don't stick to you as other lights do, but it's still pretty damn good. Seiya with that great walk speed though, trying to avoid. Stand fierce to the fan. Harassing the drive gauge. Seiya's gonna have to perfect pair of these at some point, but again, that's a problem. If you mistime that, that's like a dash up throw. It kills you off the punish counter right there. Swift thrust, no conversion just yet. Fujimura's in.
Got the OD fan, still maintaining pressure. Does get the forward throw. That walk speed, ever so dangerous. Doing it again. Is gonna be a normal this time. You know, we could go for a fourth throw if we wanted to. And Seiya thought the same thing, hence the jump. But once they start swinging, Seiya's actually had so many interactions where it freed him out of harm's way. Up until this point, Fujimura, nice and easy, had a couple of bars just in case. It's gonna be all tied up. I think it's our first long set of our initial match, right? I think like in day 1 of Division F, it was a 2-0 blowout. Day 1 of Division S, also a blowout.
Oh yeah, you're right. I like these long sets. Like to see more street fight. So do the people. Starting off with that low forward, the crouch kick, ending with the spinning bird kick for the Oki. Fujimura blocking out. He's been doing really well at locking out Seiya and blocking him out and taking away his drive gauge slowly. Instead of just going for the usual Oki, he's switching it up and it's making it hard for Seiya to even find a time to perfect parry. See, even that normal fan right there, maybe in other instances would have been an easy parry or an interruption. But here again is the handshake, this time the right hand.
For exposure. Overhead as well. It was just a matter of time. Fujimura being threatened within the high-low game. Seiya pulling it out just to make sure he's at match point.
Wherever it takes. Stand fierce to the fan. You're willing to just block that out right now, but can't block too much more. Perfect parry. That's the punish you wanted before. Did not give it to the combo. Still will get this follow with the punish counter. Oki time. Reversal jabs. He blocks out. Maybe thinking that Fujimura was going to bust out. He's going to let a green gauge. Would have made sense. Just low to open him up though. Take him towards the corner. Counter it combo on the wake up. Man's pressing buttons. He overhead the trade. Too short for the light though. Way more right there. Look at the hit. It's
damn, son. Beautifully done. That's actually mad cool. Being able to just get the rest of that animation in that fashion. Even Fujimura's laughing about it. He's like, damn, I guess I'm just gonna get this conversion, right?
I guess it's gonna kill. However, Seiya, see with full bar at the bottom. A lot of butter to cook with. What's on the pan? What's on the menu? Oh, knocking through with those crouching medium punches. That 6-frame with the quickness, getting the counter combos, stocking up. Fujimura get up to that level 1, that makes the situation even more worse if you get the combo. May not even need to get it done, to be honest. Yo, that was a mean jab. There's the super. Not gonna steal it just yet. One more touch.
That's a tough call, man.
Perfect KO.
Like, what else are you supposed to do after that, all right? The knockdown, you get the frame kill. He's point blank. He's got full health. Like, I feel that just tips the scales in favor of taking the risk. And Fujimura always one to kind of stray away from that and force the error. That was really well played. It's just one of those things, like, it's a roll of the dice, right? If Fujimura continuously, like, rolls you over as you're trying to high roll, it's such a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, House always wins when it comes to Fujimura, and he is so good at being effective with the character. It's more than just like he knows what's cheap about the character and all that good stuff. He was playing a really good containment game against Seiya and switching it up so Seiya couldn't go for those perfect parries. I'm sure Seiya, as we saw, was able to perfect parry a lot, and you don't even have to engage with this character's normals. Like, Chun-Li has had some of the best in the business for years upon years in Capcom games. Put the fan out, switch it up, use that to switch up the pacing, and then make it kind of hard for him to get those perfect parries and the punishes right after, so continuously, and then you kind of roll your offense right after that. I like that. And I also like the fact that as he's doing so, he's killing the drive gauge, so Seiya couldn't even have the idea for like OD Fireball, couldn't get a big enough conversion right after, and then now you're on the back foot right here with a meaty jab. Man, that is so meaty, it's falling off the damn bone. Fujimura, effective with this character. I always forget that he has a Mai until I see it. Sometimes I'll see it pop up every so often in CFN, but man, he showed me out right here. 10 points of Victrix Fabu Gaming. Good stuff.
What a way to start it off, too. I mean, again, Fujimura's been playing with this character for quite some time. He's definitely not shy about it as well. It's just really a matter of Seiya having to stick with the Chun-Li, right? I mean, there's an opportunity for him to kind of switch off, sure, but at the same time, he didn't do too poorly with Chun-Li, right? I mean, like, starting things off with that W was pretty important. Oh, Ryukichi comes up next against Mochi's Akuma.
Okay. Maybe that means Moke later, but I guess this kind of makes sense to me that, like, he's played so many Akumas from around the world, and he's played them with mine, he's also played them with Ken, that he understands the matchup to a T. So,
it's definitely mine.
You know,
didn't interrupt you.
Oh, you're good. I mean, it's kind of weird to see him on this character, because we know him for the Ken so much. We know him to be playing the Ken. He's basically made the book on if I hit you with Ken, it's going to hurt. And a lot of people have bought that book. It's a really good book. That man has optimized that character to a T, and I was looking to do so with mine. But however, that being said, every time I go to a stream, I'm like, hey man, how you feel about the character? He's like, I don't feel comfortable with her, and I gotta get comfortable with her. So I'm wondering if it's in form. Now, we saw at EWC was still very shaky. There's some matches that he still wants to run Ken in, so he's kind of dual wielding right now. So if this does get bad, he can roll Ken, but I want to see how the Mai works out. He has played a lot of Akuma players. Is it ready for this Akuma though? Mochi was looking way better, way more informed than what we saw last season.
I would agree with that. I mean, Mochi was, I think his debut was last season, no? He was brought on board. He actually had taken to Street Fighter 6 within like the first year and trying to figure it out. I mean, he's also a man of many games, different styles of games, particularly one other franchise that Machabo is also a part of, and I know like Dogura plays that a lot. Kazunoko, also a big fan of that game too. So I guess it's cool to see him still stick to it with the Akuma pick. I want to see where the improvement is going forward, though. Like, I want to see what else he has to kind of stick with the current meta, and also with the way that the rest of Japan's meta, the way that Japan's been playing in that meta, right? We didn't really get to see Mochi in a full swing of like a first or second match. Like, he was still stuck in a best of 3, locked in for the tiebreaker against Takagi last week, but I think there's going to be a little bit less pressure now for Mochi to at least get himself ready for like regulation play, right?
Yeah, and I think with playing those other games, you melt really fast. So when you go over to Akuma, you're like, this is just like home. Like, this is, I'm not afraid to melt for a round or whatever. You know, one of us is going to die, and it better be you, but if it does happen to be for a round, it's okay. Like, he's been informed with that sort of style. So I think him playing Akuma is great. And I think him having a lot of options to rotate is also great for him. But I want to see that come out. As you mentioned, I want to see those improvements. We saw glimmers in terms of like confidence, in terms of like confirms and things like that. I feel like he's better informed in terms of like using the walk speed and the bigger buttons that Akuma wants to present. But we got to see it more, because right now Ryukichi, I feel like even if he is not the best with Mai, even if he's not like the most confident with Mai, he still knows what to do with her to make you lose 40% of your health. Like, I think that's the one thing that he guns to for his game plan, is to make sure that if he hits you, it's going to hurt. Like the neutral and all the other stuff like that, that's behind it. But what comes first for him is to optimize every hit. So I'm assuming that he's going to do that out here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that plays out. I mean, I think majority of the time we've seen this matchup, I think they're pretty even. Like, Mai does have the pressure to fans, etc. The walk speed is great as well. Her normal is pretty extensive to go for counter pokes and also kind of dictate the pace. But Akuma can do the exact same thing, right? Like, his normals are just as far reaching. His damage output is pretty substantial. He doesn't have to rely on a level 1 to get buffs and also get his fireball game started, right? He has one of the best fireballs in the business in terms of speed, being able to hold it, apply pressure with mini fireball setups, or even and certain strings with fireball to force the pressure, right? So there's a lot that can kind of go back and forth, right? There's a lot of like balancing that needs to kind of really be considered in regards to this particular matchup. So we'll see how this goes. It's really a matter of who's got the better ideas for the matchup on paper, right? Akuma can get by a lot of the things that Mai does present. Mai can dish out the damage against a 9k health character pretty easily. So this is easily one of those moments where it's who gets the knockdown first and who maintains that knockdown.
One thing I do like for Akuma in this matchup is like light demon flip can easily bait out a DP. So if you're not ready, if you're not using the proper timing to walk speed, you're going to get got. Like that's going to be easy with. However, as you mentioned, like that damage that she can output is even more enhanced now against Akuma. So up in the corner, like you have to be even more on point with your defense. Like I have to keep bar for ODDP or OD Fireball if I need some space with this place. You know, even more so you have to think about your bar usage and what you're expending and what you're also, you know, maybe taking away too as well. So we'll see what happens. Like these bigger buttons, as you mentioned, like stand fierce, stand medium, those can be countered by Kuma's, but in the same way, Mai can do it with her walk speed, her buttons too as well. So then we're going to be a matter of who can get going, and I definitely agree. And whoever gets that knockdown is going to go to town. And I feel like both characters got some nasty set play. Like Akuma's still set play king out here. Even the Demon Foot's being nerfed, he's had some nasty sets. We saw Kawano with that cross up, bringing that back with a different sort of look over at EWC. And every time I watch a Akuma player, I always learn something new. So that character of a million toolkits, even if they modify him, he'll still be ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was saying earlier between the two, right? Like, who's going to get started, who's going to maintain the knockdowns. But you do bring up a valid point in regards to the set play. I think both are just as deadly in their own right with the kind of set play that they have. It's going to be interesting to lay that down because you could also consider who's going to be taking, like, big risks with, like, reads with OD uppercuts, reads with level 1s. Funny enough, I think reversals with level 1 with Mai gives you a lot more mileage in comparison to Akuma. Right? Like, Mai gets a whole different type of game plan going once she has the install, the damage output is there. It's like, you gotta think about it. Like, would you rather do an ODDP? It is faster, sure, but if you're gonna, like, try to catch somebody committing to a longer normal, it's like, why not risk that extra frame, right? Like, actually, no, ODDP is 6 frames regardless, and then level 1 with Mai is also 6 frames. So, it's like the lesser of two evils, right? Would you rather take the advantage? You're gonna get punished anyway if it's blocked, right? Like, why not do level 1? Granted, it's a different type of resource material, I understand that, but, like, look at how much more you get off of a Mai level 1.
You know what? You right about that. Ryukichi definitely not the type to shy away from his reversals. So I feel like you're right. Hit the level 1, get your resources going, then you can fight the fireballs even better. And then it's like less, you have to spend for like OD gauge and you have more of an advantage. So I think that might be a thing that Ryukichi should be doing, or even my players in general should be doing. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But it's also going to be like, who's going to be expending the resources better? And I also feel like if you're Mai, you know, the typical Mai that you fight on CFN or whatever is if you're going OD fan or whatever, they're close to burnout, and then from there you win. Usually speaking, the baseline to fight Mai is to take away her resources, so she can't just throw out the OD fans, and that's half the battle on. But the best Mai players out here are saving the resources, like Xiaohai, for example. He'll drive rush jab instead of OD fan. He'll initiate with other buttons to build his bar up before he starts doing the OD fan. We just saw our other Mai player that just came up recently, not just throw those out continuously. He'd throw out even normal fan too as well. It's going to be a question of how much is going to be expended right here from the side of the Mai player. If Ryukichi has that game plan, if he's too antsy to throw an OD fan, and if we can see perfect parries, and honestly, Akuma's one of the best to punish those. If he gets a perfect parry, it's an easy TP. He doesn't even need OD to punish it. He can also go for forward fierce or stand fierce in some cases, and drive rush right after and avoid. Like, so he's got many ways to punish. That's why I think this character definitely goes even with Mai. Like, if you're trying to fight Mai out here, Akuma's not a bad pick, to be honest.
It's not at all. Again, that's why I think it goes like relatively even. I think the big advantage that Akuma players can have is utilizing Demon Raid against a potential fan, right? Like, if you call an OD fan correctly with Demon Raid and you punish counter, that is huge. On the offhand too, it's like, if you don't want to experience any sort of fan mix-up, Akuma has the best deterrent for that, right? He could just do OD Fireball himself and get rid of it if it's not, like, powered up too, right? So, like, if you're trying to be that risk averse and not really trying to do like a Demon Raid like that, I think going bar for bar to eliminate the threat of OD fan is just fine. And then you reset the situation, right? Then you get to throw more fireballs against Mai. But we'll see how that goes. Ryukichi throwing up some of the fans. This is going to be the introductory phase, right? Who's going to break first? Already expensive start for Ryukichi. Didn't get a lot out of it just yet. He did get a low forward fan just to establish the pace. And yeah, jump air fireball, another big opportunity, but the Demon Raid does get blown up.
There, Ryukichi took the proper space to be able to anti-air that. The turn, perfect parry, drive pushing in, finds a conversion with the counter hit, pressing buttons, backs off, stand fierce to the fan, no conversion right after that, just wanted to harass the drive gauge, the air-to-air jump fierce, nice and close with that back heavy kick to hit, and all the fans coming through. OD fan, brother, the trades, it's all working out for Ryukichi. Just level 1 on the side of Mochi, but yeah, he's not gonna expend it right now. It's gonna be a DI to death. First blood, Ryukichi.
Very easy call. Very easy call up from the side of Ryukichi, right? Spinning the fans while having Mochi in burnout, forcing the mix, forcing him to block, and also take that chip is so significant. Punish counter! Level 1, Kaguru no Mai, we do get the install. Ryukichi is gonna have a lot more of a better time within neutral, but he walks up anyway. Stand jab is started.
No pierce, second version. Gonna have the target combo at the very least. No bar expended. TK Fireball definitely keeping out Ryukichi with the various with the Demon Flip, as we mentioned, the light one as well. Trying to walk him down, charge up, switch it up on him. Now we drive fresh in, become the Fireball, but now we're back throwing up in the corner. He gets a punish, the side switch. You know what? We'll take that out of the corner.
What do you do about this, right? Ryukichi willing to play it lame. Slowly building up that bar. Does have the 3-bar threshold, by the way. A single hit confirmed actually spells Mochi's demise. Could be off of a low medium kick, could be off of the whip punish. You tried to do what now against that? That was way off the mark.
I done told you. Demon Flip, light addition is going to avoid that DP. Gotta finish the job though. On the other side again, try pushing to side switch, gets a stand fierce. In the super, the field, this dude, Ryukichi is active. This guy is active. How amazing has he been? That's not once, but twice it's happened to avoid the demon rate. If you cannot find the proper time to anti-air, drive rush underneath. Ryukichi, he got some ideas.
Pretty low on the drive gauge already as Ryukichi is the first time Mochi's actually had that momentum or that pressure. Adamant gets checked immediately from Ryukichi. Damn, was that preemptive or was that reaction? Stand jab. So effective on that. Oh, what a punish counter. The medium Tatsu getting past the fan. That was godlike.
No, go for the low though. It's with the hezzy. With the DP, frame kill back to you. Thought it was gonna be a throw. Not gonna happen. It's gonna be a stand fierce. Instead, you're dead. Ryukichi with just too much momentum and pressure right now. Mochi just can't get a handle of it. He's so wily, so squirrely in the whip punish against a big button. We talked about it. Ryukichi ready for it. He's seen what that button can do. Neutral jump, just in case a throw's gonna come through. We'll still get the counter hit. Kage no Mai.
Look at the pressure too, just coming from this. Ryukichi just has such a significant life lead. Mochi is just so under pressure, right? Ryukichi has not let off the gas, and Mochi has not really done anything to put a speed bump in front of him. Yep, you can't demon flip.
Oh,
there's no shot. A couple of things to keep aware of, right? Like Ryukichi having the enhancements, having the Kaguru no Mai aura, allows you to just sit back and wait, right? It forces you to sit back and wait. You can't throw a fireball anymore. You can't approach airborne. You know for sure he's going to be going 3/4 of the screen to punish you.
It's just the idea to punish these demon flips so continuously. That is a pain point, as we mentioned, or it could be a pain point for Mai. He's like, I'll use the drive gauge and use the bar at the bottom to get the kill against the flips. And that's it, bro. Ryukichi, man. We talked about how he's so good about punishing things, and that made me maybe part of the new meta right here against demon flips, or like aerial attacks using drive rush to get underneath. Like he did have some good anti-airs. Even the normal demon flip right there got DP'd. His normal DP, excuse me. And just again, just right momentum. Mochi he couldn't find a way on the ground with the bigger buttons. The fireballs weren't working out. They were perfect parried. The aerial approach was checked and challenged by this. The level 2 once again, bro. That is so godlike. Having the enhancement to ensure that he was able to get the kill right there. I'm baffled. This may be a part of a new meta right there with like the drive rush underneath the demon flip, but just in general, how he is able to punish, how we've seen it with Kim, we see it with the Mai. 2 games already. Victrix, Fabu Gaming, 20 points. A lot is right on KB right now as the captain.
This is kind of tough. Do we see the Chun-Li matchup again now? Is it going to be obviously a Mai in every single match? I honestly think Moke is going to be sent up for the anchor spot. And I also like Sako in the extra match for Elena. Yeah, Taisho Moke. Yep, captain is going to be Moke for sure. So, okay, I thought he was gonna do like the call or something. I love Moke, man. Woo, so Yeah, very similar to what we saw from the very first battle between Seiya and Fujimura. This is going to be a whole different story, though. Like, Moke has definitely had a much more solid Chun-Li style, right? He understands player instincts and player reads quite well. If you don't believe me, go check out his most recent tweet of him dashing up 3 times and doing a Zanshu in your face. That is also pretty grotesque to see, but it is what it is. Moke is actually pretty godlike for that. All jokes aside, though, I think Moke navigates this matchup very well. He's been playing against so many different Mai's from around the world, whether it's EWC, Evo Las Vegas, etc. Right? He's been well versed in this matchup, right? It's just a matter of whether or not KB, who's been sort of balancing 2 characters right now, has enough to stop the way that Moke's been playing these last couple of months.
Yeah, I think if the Mai doesn't work out, you do have the Bison pick, which is just fine in this matchup. You know, it's one of the characters that can actually fight the fireball game by just skating right through with the Psycho Crusher, if it comes down to it. One of the things I do like about Moke is that he's willing to take risks. Unlike other Chun-Li players, they really hold their bar, they clutch that bar as much as possible. He's willing to get close to burnout or go into burnout to be able to take the round or take it down, whatever it takes, you know what I'm saying? And he'll, if it's not going to do so, he'll back off a little bit and lull you in that false sense of security and anti-you, he'll trap you with the forward medium punch. He understands that his, like, the neutral of the character will work out. It's something that Tachikawa had said, like, last year. He was like, you know, a lot of the Japanese players were emboldened by Noah about the burnout scenario and, like, changing their strategy. And he's like, one of the first people that did it was Moke. And you see in his play, and that helps that to allow him to be more aggressive, and I think that might allow him to be a little more active in his fireball game. Might be a little bit more like the OD fireball, drive rush right after. So we'll see what happens here. We're getting the interview here. High spirits from the side of KB, despite how much is riding on him right now. But I've seen him also have some good sequences too as well. KB definitely has labbed out some really nasty things with this character. He says, I'm really nervous. I have no idea how I can manage my moves. Oh, that is not a good sign. Oh, no.
That is not the kind of confidence starter you would want, right? But I mean, honestly, KB is pretty humble. I mean, if it comes down to what needs to be done, KB definitely has like a bit of the clutch gene in him, right? He's no stranger to this. He's been doing a lot of big clutch comeback moments since Street Fighter 4, right? The artist formerly known as Banbaban has been a part of many highlight reels, whether he's producing them or being a victim of them, to be quite honest. It's just how it goes in the nature of the numbers game with Street Fighter. But I honestly think it comes down to like how much KB has adapted towards the current meta and like how much of a different look he can give towards Moke. Because like if you think about it, right, like Moke also representing the Mai. He played Mai and Chun-Li over at Blink Respawn.
It's true.
He did manage to get himself to CEO. He played Mai at Combo Breaker. He played Mai at the ACL. And he also rocked Mai during Evo Japan. But these last couple of events, especially at Evo Las Vegas, he's been playing the Chun-Li. We saw a lot more of the Chun-Li over at EWC. So I think he's more than ready. Like, it's just based off of like how often he's played against people from around the world, and you compare it to somebody like KB, right, who hasn't really had the opportunity to travel as much, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna double check that just in case. Yeah, so not a lot of big travels coming in from KB. The last time he had gone out was for the EWC Last Chance qualifier, where he fell short to Matsu. So outside of that, it's hard to kind of keep up with the numbers game, or at least the experience level that Moke's been exposed to this whole year.
See how the experience comes into play. Already started out strong with the low, and you know, Moke had some words to say. He said, if I had to say something to KB, but what's it with you changing your name every time? If I went here, I won't be calling him KB. Nor like answer to him, yo, you talked about a smack, you better come through in the match though, Moke. Or cancel the fireball, try to grasp the drive gauge. There's a low right after. Caught him after he was out of the parry. Towards the corner we go. Or so we thought. He brought up the low, hit the ODDP. He knew what defensive option was going to be played right there. KB very smart with it.
Oh, I like that check to drive rush, catching the neutral jump. KB a little bit dry on the drive gauge right now, so he's not going to opt for any sort of like big single hit confirms. He wanted to try to play footsies for just a little bit, but Moke now charging him down. Yeah, no confirm off the low medium kick because of the fact that he was still a little bit dry, didn't want to put himself into burnout.
Careful now, a lot of fireballs. He backed off, waited for the right time from across the street. Just teleport in. Instant transmission. Now listen, KB caught on lacking. Uh-oh, Moke starts with a 4-meter punch to start things off, though. The handshake at the walk-up throw. He knew he was trying to walk away the shimmy game. He was in there.
Yeah. Kind of wild, right? We were talking about it. How different of an approach does KB need to have to throw Moke off? He's already thrown him off pretty substantially. That forward roundhouse getting absolutely blown up, expecting maybe a low forward, and KB, actually, funny enough, he was playing with that range because of the fact that he's dry on drive gauge, which makes a lot of sense, but still managing to blow up and read the forward heavy kick against Moke was pretty smart. The walk speed is just so impressive.
Those handshakes. Oh, yeah. Being able to handle that with the fans as well. As more of a poke now, you see that way more of a poke than like a harassment tool to kill the drive gauge. Ooh, that could have been hit. Didn't want to spin the bar though. Gets hit with the heavy kick. Some scaling on this. Moke's gonna go with the Soten. I would assume you spin all that bar to go in the gray, yeah. Sitting out with that level 3. Gotta do it. Seiya on the way to extra damage. But that means no bar for this last round. And a lot to spin on the side of KB. That means KB can get more liberal, like getting level 1s off, and giving for the enhancement fans. I want to see him do more OD fan. Force Moke out, and as soon as I say that, he delivers round start.
Oh, that's a big gamble. You go for level 1, and you still have so much in the tank, too. The throw mix after the OD fans, yet again, halting Moke, and also taking a lot of the drive gauge. An erroneous jump, actually. KB puts himself in the corner. A lot of sweeps. Moke is not ready for it.
Walk up looking for the counter hit. No way punish. Oh my god, KB, your drive gauge is so gone. But your confirms are so godlike. That stand medium caught that heavy kick, and that's gonna be it. At the very tip of the fan. He felt a freeze.
KB. Putting Moke slightly on tilt, right? I think it was Moke who was trying to play like the chasing game against KB. I think there was an excellent job being, I guess, not the aggressor, right? He's just kind of like backing away, and then when it comes time to throw out the fans, he does it so well, keeping the mix so ambiguous.
Really? Dive kick? Just gets the tit show. KB's got a lot of different looks with this character. Oh my god. Back rise still right there. Nice and close, because that is Oki. Harassing with the mediums, drive rushing in. Back with that fireball play. Moke definitely different in terms of other Chun-Li's. He's getting perfect parry.
Catches the mid-air, still allows him to get a enhanced fan afterwards. Backing away, setting the pace against Moke. Moke, how do you even approach, right? He's still trying to buffer some, maybe like an Hazanchu. Oh, the Hazanchu just right under there. KB wasn't going to be susceptible to that. Way too close. Burnout is imminent.
So that backs off with the enhanced fan. Hazanchu trying to cut through, looking for anything. Would love to get a punish counter. It's not happening, KB. Look at just how annoying and pestering he is with this character. Backing away the optimal ranges, looking for buttons, blocking out the fireballs.
Okay, still the punish counter into, what was that, sending medium punch into the fans? I actually blinked. I didn't get to see what normal that was, but KB now sitting on match point.
It was. That button's doing mad work right now. Clocked in overtime. ODDP is fine though. Does get the reversal, driver stampede, kick the overhead right after to trade. Crouching medium punch, just a little too short. Okay, you gotta make the most of it. You have him up in the corner, you get a little bit of a whip punish there.
No! And the drive impact fly. Moke wasn't ready for it. Perfect parry against the Fierce. What kind of anticipation is that? KB all over it, actually getting the most of this matchup with some of these perfect parries. Jive rush check on in. Moke not anticipating it. Does get the target combo, and the rest of it level 2. Not quite dead. Odi Tencho for life.
That's one.
1, 2, level 3, level 2, excuse me. But he's forced to do a level 1 here. Yeah, I had to do it.
He's gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean, it built up a little bit of that gauge too to do it in that fashion. Like, you know it's gonna kill, right? So you do the rest of that ender, get that fierce to tack on a little bit of extra meter. It makes sense to do it. I misspoke earlier. KB is not on match point. My mistake. It is 3 out of 5. It is the anchor match after all. Level 1, Kagane no Mai. Big game changer.
Perfect parry and the punish right after. Take him towards the corner. Positional advantage. We're out of there.
Out of there too.
Able to catch the recovery. Yeah, couldn't spin the drive cage, man. He couldn't go there for drive rush overhead. Nothing doing.
Oh, it's a pretty big handshake confirmed. Now Moke coming on in. Tried to trick KB, but that stand jab actually interrupted that midway jump. Kaguru no Mai yet again. Start off with the fan. You can't use that! Hazanshu is not going to be fast enough upon landing. KB with the spacing trap to get 2-0 lead over Moke.
Switching up with the enhancements, man. Understanding the risk reward. And honestly, just being like, listen, I know it's going to recover in time. It's going to be a bait. This dude, I'm going to say something real, is making my look super fun. The way that he is being so lame and annoying and poking at proper distances, backdashing, throwing fans, reminiscent a little bit of Christian, but a little bit more aggression. What KB does, he's like, you played Mice around the world, but you ain't played my mind. You ain't played my mind out here.
Yeah.
It's a different look, man. It's a different look.
I think it was a slight miscalculation from Moke, right? Like, if you think about what happens with the fireballs coming in from Mai, it not only changes the frame data of it, but it also changes the recovery, right? Like, you're going from, what, 32 frames of recovery into 29? So Moke thought to himself, okay, I've seen this situation before. Look, you can see him, he's perplexed, right? He's like, was I able to Hazanshu there to stuff out the fireball? Most likely not, right? You're getting those 3 extra frames back in recovery. So those 3 frames were everything for KB to get that spacing trap down.
I think he was so ready, or KB in general was so ready to line that up for success. And ODDP that's how you know he was definitely on point with that, and he meant to do that. Having the ODDP as a reverse stall reaction against Hazanshu, that was something he's been set up before. And if you watch KB on his streams or just watch his CFN, he's got certain sequences that he does to either take away your drive gauge to set himself up for success for whip punishing, things like that. He is very well structured in terms of his game plan. So like, he's been like that in other games. You see it out here for Street Fighter, and the way that he's playing this character is such a different look that, you know, other people might think, well, my players just throw out fans and they just drive rush or whatever. You can definitely see there are different tendencies in terms of his rhythm, how he's throwing out buttons, what buttons he's throwing out the fans. Well, he's going for perfect parries after certain buttons too as well. It's throwing Moke off guard, and Moke is like, I can't get in against this character. I have to walk speed. I'm close enough to drive rush up. I can dash up, but I'm not getting in. I'm not getting a lot of reward. And again, by the time that you get in, you ain't got no drive gauge to your name to make it count. Chun-Li's the thirsty girl. She wants a little bit more drive gauge than other characters for her damage. Not able to expend too much as Moke. There was a moment where you saw the dive kick whiff completely. Couldn't drive rush up because he'd be damn near towards the death door in terms of burnout. So KB, he's doing a good job of eliminating all the factors and finds himself on game point right now. This guy is the beast for beatdown right now. I'm sorry, Moke. It's looking bad. Get too much smack.
Do we see the Mai mirror match? If you're, oh no, it's gonna be Chun-Li. Okay. The timeout was taken from the side of Moke. I'm thinking about it too. Like, if you have to maintain your charge for Fireball, you lose out on KB kind of like closing on you a little bit with that walk speed, right? So Moke is forced to like move on forward and stay within range so that the Fireballs don't get started. Like OD Fireballs don't get started from KB, right? Tensho is so hard to catch the flying squirrel dive bomb. Honestly, that's actually kind of rough. OD fan. And the walk back against Moke does get blown up.
Again, backing away to get that drive gauge back up. Moke trying to get the chase down. And you see him just, you know, every so often, I try to get opened up with a crouching light kick. Crouching kick off a drive rush. Very punished with a 4-meter punch that has a hurt box on it.
Damn, how many crouching medium punches? This guy took turn after turn after turn. Are you kidding me? This guy did 3 crouching medium punches. Those bad boys are -3. He just threw it out every single time.
Is it tilt? Is it the hope that there's a parry in the way? Level 1 still
what was that?
Trying to go for at least I think maybe an overhead. Going for the stand switch. I think it might have been overhead. Whatever it got clipped.
It was.
KB with a nicely.
It was the overhand.
Oh.
Oh. You know, that's fine. I'd much rather just let him out of the corner instead of like risk getting hit with the Tensho. Or at least getting punish counter for trying to stop with the Tensho. Perfect parry coming in from KB. Not gonna get the level 1 just yet. He has 1 more stock left to throw out a Fireball, but Moke, he's trying to stay within range to react to Fireball with level 2.
Oh, you're right.
Too out of range though.
So many of those. Oh, yeah, with the link right after the crouching video kick. Hits heavy the trade, and not too bad for Moke in his favor. He's got the bar to work with. There's a ball to Fireball. The medium's able to hit. Should be level 3. And KB with the beatdown. The B is in the name. He was talking too much mess. And KB brings us a 3-0 over Moke, the most annoying mind the business in the right sort of way. What great play, man. That's the kind of variance I want to see from these players out here in terms of their game plans, in terms of how they are altering their characters. It's not just OD fan, it's backdash. I'm gonna spend some bar, I'll get expensive with it, but I'll back up because you can't chase me down. In understanding that matchup, the dive kicks against a 10 show would tilt me too, okay? I understand. But I understand that means this. We got 20 points on both sides now. It comes down to the final game, but man, that was an expertise in mine.
He gave so many different looks too. He played that so much slower than a lot of the Mai's we would expect, right? Fujimura actually plays a lot more of a smothering type of game. KB actually played it so well in neutral that was mad annoying for Moke. Like, Moke is so used to being the one to kind of initiate on offense, and you see him, although trying to close the gap going forward, it's just a matter of time until KB throws out the OD fan, right? There's just so many things to kind of consider. Even trying to throw out forward or back medium, right? The handshake. KB was ready for all of those instances to punish counter accordingly. But this is where it all began too, like establishing the ground game this early on with some crazy looks with like drive rush overhead, drive rush low medium kick, even drive rush stand jab. That's like a more common start to it. He wanted to see if Moke was going to be ready within game one. Then after game one, after all the shenanigans were out of the way, he played a much more of a compact game. Like, he was trying to like close the gap. He was trying to hit some of Moke's attempts to try to initiate with normals and walked out of there to whiff punish. He played a much more sturdy ground game in games 2 and 3.
I love to see that variance. KB definitely, maybe super interested in playing that character again, honestly. But right now, he's going to be playing up is Otani, and we know who comes up on the side of Victrix. There's no question about that. But Otani on the Ken, though, again, as you mentioned, like, it's cool to see that we do have Ken back up in the business. If you're Sako, I don't know how Elena does against Ken. I don't get to see that matchup too often. But I know that Aki players, as we mentioned previously in one of the previous episodes, it's like slightly losing for even, really more even, I guess these days for Broski. It's going to be Sako, of course. So it's a matter of what is he going to pull out? Is he going to go for the Aki, or will he show something different with the Elena? Like, how much practice do you get to get against like a good Elena? You got Dogura and you got Sako, and you really only got those handful Okusaku, and there's like, that's it. So you only get, so it's going to be Elena. Okay, that makes sense to me.
I think that's a better dice roll against Otani. I think having the presence of mind to throw out a character that's still relatively fresh for a lot of people that aren't familiar with the character is a pretty big deal. In comparison to Aki, right? A lot of people have had Aki on their radar, at least in the realm of Japan, because of guys like Hikaru, right? Hikaru has been like the #1 like Aki player in Japan for quite some time, so everybody's trying to get like a piece of him. You saw how impactful he was over not only just Capcom Cup, but also in the previous seasons of Street Fighter League, from his debut up until Season 2 as well. So I think going with the dice roll of Elena makes a lot more sense against Otani. If it was anybody else, I'd be kind of weary. But if it's Sakonoko, having that Elena, I feel a little bit more of Otani being at risk, right?
Yeah. I mean, if he hits you, it's going to hurt. I mean, this man is a god of execution, a god of optimization. And I feel like with Elena, you need those hit confirms to be on point, especially to recognize if they're standing, so you know if your hits are landing right after or not. Just in general, be able to hit that stand medium and sometimes the crouching medium kick as well. Like, you have to be on point to get that reward, but the reward is pretty good for her. Like, she gets good corner carry, good damage without having to spend too much bar. Her corner pressure is actually really good. She has a lot of nasty meaty setups that at max take away quite a bit of your drive gauge. And she does have ways around the fireballs that might be problematic, because Ken's fireballs are more pokes than they are like actual good fireballs, a lot more recovered than the other Shotos. In terms of the interview, Otani says, "The chance KB gave me, I'll make it worth something." And Sako said, "I'll have to win to get I'll have to win to get today's win, so I'll just do my best." Simple stuff.
Straightforward, yeah. I gotta win to win. Yeah, I mean, type it out, print it out, put it on top of your office board, and like hang it or something. Some words of wisdom right there. I don't know. That's just how it be. That's just how it be. But yeah, honestly, I still like this look with Elena, right? I think we harped on it a little bit before. Elena is more so the one to kind of act second until the knockdown happens, right? I think she's built more like a counter poke style of character. And mostly trying to like be a nuisance with maybe like further range normals and overhits, right? But it's always gonna be like death by 1,000 cuts up until you get the single big hit. Like Elena's damage output in the corner is much more substantial in comparison to what she has mid-screen. But good thing about that is, on that same note, excellent confirm on that counter hit as well. On that same note, she does have a lot of opportunities to get like really significant corner carry. No up check here. He may be over 40, but my man is ready. The double drive impact for the burnout. This guy is studied too. I like that.
Monk still got it. Uh-oh, again. Gonna catch him. Crouching to connect it. Trying to go for the DI right there. The backdash was clean from Otani. Gets the far back. He's back in the green. Trying to lay the crouching media punch. No hit right there. Yeah, I would go into as well. Kill the drive gauge as he tried to tap parry. He's in burnout. Trade conversions on both sides. Nothing big from Otani though. Difficult to close it out. No matter how.
Oh! He was so confident that overhead was gonna hit. Otani being able to block the rest of the target. Almost spending level 1. Not too bad. Staving off the big threat of being in burnout. Sakonoko a little bit impatient on that. You have to be pretty keen when it comes to confirming some of these target combos. Some, I feel like, are very hard to confirm to darn near unconfirmable. Some of them.
It's a necessity to at least have that more often than not. We see the level 1, we side switch here, keep the drive gauge as much as possible. Oh yeah, see that's a difficult thing. You can't fireballs like you used to. The Link Song able to cut through the fireball right there. That level 1. Also have that nerf right after we can't play a fireball. That puts it right up in the corner. Toe tap, trying to find a counter hit at all. Sako blocking it out. Nice little lead for him.
I love the pace that Sakonoko's playing at too. He's always starting with the lights, always starting with the forward heavy kick as well. Link Song, a little bit of a cancel. Damn, son. I love that too. The pressure with the standing medium kick, knowing full well that it's +1 and it doesn't push back that far, he's able to steal his turn with another standing medium kick and enforce that threat.
That's really good anywhere on the screen, really. Other characters kind of have to get that pushback on them. Not Elena. Even better in the corner. Leg lock. The roll to keep the drop gauge up as much as possible. Backs away. We've seen that stand fierce in a crouching medium punch play. He knows this man's about.
Uh-oh!
No! This is the confirm. Unfortunate. It heads Tatsu towards the corner. Max out the Oki, the corner carry. Cross got crouch fierce to keep the close range pressure. However, Sako blocks it all out.
Forward round has to check and threaten. Does the punish counter. Perfect parry as well. Otani trying to take his turn back. The amount of meter you build off of this, pretty substantial. We get the uppercut. Oh! No confirm off of the standing medium kick. And I don't know if that was counter hit or not either. But it was +5. I guess he didn't want to go into like a light, into like a drive rush cancel or anything. But Otani's making him pay for it.
One touch from Otani. Really trying to initiate too far out for the throw. Way too far out. Only Jinrai. One more touch. Trucker still the tap period. Tim plays around the reaction. Thought it was going to be a button to throw instead. And Otani, first game, only needs one more to clutch it out for his team.
That's tough. Like, what normal can Elena use to check that drive rush? Like, stand medium kick does have a pretty decent range on it, and standing, it's a 6-framer. I like crouching medium punch a little bit better, especially if they're drive rushing, because they're already like in a standing position, right? Although it's 8 frames, I think it's still like a pretty far-ranging normal to cancel into super. That's hard.
Yeah, 8 frames is kind of difficult. Gotta do what you gotta do. Whip punch there on the stand fierce though. Sako ready. Like that. Go for the cancel with the roll. Don't spend too much drive gauge just to get in. Keep that spacing plus range scenario off the Dragon Lash. The whip punish. Almost had it. Oh, he thought he was close enough to punish on the toe kick.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, just meaty enough. Uncheck is there. He's at least 50% on that. Oh, the uppercut. You already know it.
Jinrai's doing work on the drive gauge. From that medium. Raw side. Maybe thought a fireball was going to come through. Look at the Oki. Drive rush throw. We'll do another one. Or it's going to shimmy finesse and bless. Otani about to put the old man to rest. It's a set point scenario. Sako not done yet, though. He's got a lot of bar to work with. Oh, yeah. Ready against that crouching medium punch. We've seen the recovery on that button now and the hurt box. It's real. Cross-cut scratch wheel.
Side switch. Get the punish counter, knocking him airborne. You get the scythe, the ender as well. Rhino horn into the scratch wheel. Plenty of damage. with very little resources. All you gotta do is spend the rest of it. Level 1 incoming, and if that's not it, it's gonna be another one.
Wow. Big thing.
Sick, right?
Perfect. That is, bro, this character's godlike.
This character, it's like, she's mad fun to watch, but personally, I think she's very difficult to manage.
Oh, I agree. Like Sako with the
that side was sick.
Like the OD roll. You are so smart. I'll put him in the corner. Look how close he was too as well.
Oh. So scary. Country media punch confirmed from Otani. Run into the DP. Nice work. Knocking on the door. Does get the tech throw. One more sequence for Otani, especially after this throw. Kills it.
That's the opener though. Do a lot of things. Otani has a lot of board to work with. Can drive rush throw. Would he fireable if he wants to? Drive rush stand fierce. So many options. He'll go for the low four. The typical kid stuff to get the win. Shibujirai for the kill. Otani with the pop off. Keep him caught up in the corner. It's been jail no bail. This guy with the kin is something excellent. Well done.
That is tough. Very, very tough. Nagoya NTPOJA securing 5 games straight, by the way. KB with the full sweep, Otani with the full sweep, and redemption from how he performed yesterday, or sorry, last week. Looking at 30 points. Not bad, though, for Victrix Favu Gaming, right? It did go down to the tiebreaker after all. You're looking at 30 to 20. So either way you spin it, like, Victrix Favu Gaming still walking away with a decent amount of points. Overall getting 30. Pretty much just under Nagoya NTPOJA's overall performances with 40 points on the board now.
Not bad. I mean, last season they were getting washed, like a lot. Would walk away with no points to their name. They were getting farmed a lot. You see them a lot better off, and honestly, down to a few decisions. I think that if this Elena gets a little bit stronger, I feel like it's going to be like a more of a threat. But Otani's been playing this character for God knows how long. He knows how to keep the pressure up in the corner. He's going to keep his drive gauge up. You see right there the shit with the crouching, with the kick in the OD fireball. Things like that are more cohesive than what Sako has right now. In a couple weeks, in a month, it's going to be something different, of course. But you saw Sako go for some risky stuff. We saw him go for like slides and things like that. But Otani kept it pretty damn defensive, pretty tight though. Great match, but again, it's Nagoya NTPOJA, excuse me, taking it 30 to 20. Victrix Favu Gaming is walking away with 20 points in their pocket, so it's not too bad from them. It's a lot they can work from in terms of their character choices, what they can do. Moke, however, he might have a my problem, or maybe it's just a KB problem. We'll see if we get that run back a lot later on in the season, second part of the season. But big win here for Nagoya.
I actually want to check out the record overall for Moke, if it actually is a my problem. Because, like, there were moments where he switched off to my to try to get W's, but it just hasn't really been in the cards for him. Like, he's ended up in pretty high placements lately around the world. But honestly, I would have loved to see the my mirror match play out, at least for one of those matches, especially when you're in the anchor spot and you have that many games to play. I would have loved to see that at least exercise once. But this is what it was, man. Victrix Favu Gaming, they were mad strong. They were actually like speculated to take a pretty significant W today. You saw Fujimura take the W, Ryukichi pulling out the Mai taking the W. KB, the one staving off the full sweep, was mad clutch. Like against Moke especially, right? We preface it with how often Moke has traveled lately and faced off against a bunch of other Mai's. It didn't mean jack squat to KB.
Man, yeah, unfortunately, Seiya a little bit upset. He said overall wasn't a bad move, but I couldn't read, what he was doing enough. Fujimura definitely, as we mentioned, as you mentioned especially, more of that smothering type of mind, could not get going. Also if chat is correct, Moke is 2 to 6 right now in terms of fighting minds, and I think that's overall. Jelly is one of the people that does a lot in terms of like the stats, so I don't trust that.
In general. So he's currently 2 and 6 in overall record. He fought against Machibo last week in the anchor spot, remember? It was Machibo's Ryu.
Oh, you're right.
Overall 2 and 6.
Well, that's something
kind of a rough spot.
It's really rough. Only beginning of the season, though. Let it happen now or later. We always talk about that. But, back on business here. Mochi said, unfortunately, I lost, but my team was strong enough to lead me today. I'll be the one to lead the next episode. So already sounds like he wants to come up to the front full force. First match right there. So whatever team he has to fight, we'll find out real soon. He's going to have to know that that guy's coming up. He doesn't care. And with the Kuma, there's not many counterpicks you can really do on paper. You're not really like, well, I'll counterpick this character or use him to counterpick a Akuma. Like, it doesn't really happen like that with that character. So KB also says it was all about defending the drive rush overhead, watching out for the overhead from the side of Moke, which we didn't really see. We didn't really see that as an initiation. Maybe we saw one cancel into it, and they got up with the level 1. And that was really it. So I like that. Don't let him get going. Don't let him overhead yet. Very smart stuff. I won't get hit with those anymore. I like that.
Yeah, he defended it well.
Said no more.
There was definitely one that was like trying to be thrown out by Moke, and then you didn't see it as often. You didn't even see the attempts of going into Serenity Stance into overhead. Like, there was one in an awkward moment where the level 1 was unleashed by KB, and he was already committed to the Serenity Stance overhead. So there was another instance. But yeah, I think KB staved off the threat of overhead pretty darn well throughout the entirety of like that set. But yeah, they're going to be facing off against Crazy Raccoon from the home squad too. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, OJA, that'll be their first time playing in the home position. That's going to be happening September 19th, because we also have UFA in between. So there's going to be a little bit of a break, at least within the regulation season. Otani, I feel like, doesn't really feel too excited about his W. He's like, I did my best. I did my best. I don't know. Like, that's pretty much essentially what the interview was from the side of Otani. And he did. I mean, no matter how you spin it, a win's a win. You got the points necessary for your team, and you should be happy and proud about that. So nice from Otani. Good recovery from how he performed last week.
Yeah. He did back up a little bit, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with the win. Last season, we couldn't go with the flow after the first win, so we'd like to do that this year. So they're trying to ride that momentum. But as you mentioned, like, for him to take this game when your team is riding for you to get the last couple of points to clutch it out so you can take the lead up in the leaderboards, it's a good weight. So it's like a nice relief off his shoulders, and I'm glad to see him on the Ken. If I'm being so real, it's good to see the Ken back in business for some of these players up here. You know, we've seen people switch around. I've seen him test Terry, but he's a Ken main through and through. So it's cool to see him collect these W's with the character he's been playing for or with a long time and showcase that Ken can still cook. I'm sorry, Phenom, but your character, or the character you used to play, is still really good. KB says, you know, next up, as you mentioned, Crazy Raccoon for the home side. It's our first home side, so we will do our best to win.
We'll see how that plays out. I mean, so far, this is the first time the home team, no, the second time the home team has actually failed to secure the W in back-to-back weeks. When you saw the opener from day one, it was Victrix Favu Gaming, again, by the way. They were the openers from last week, and they failed to secure it in a much worse fashion, right? Not to kind of like dampen their, kind of rain on their parade even more so, or add salt to the wound. They lost to Saishunkan Kumamoto 30-10 despite being on the home side. So there might be a theme. There might be a little bit of a theme here, at least for the opener. The other two teams that progressed afterwards did not have that same type of fate, right? Like, second match, it was the home team that got it. It was CAG Osaka. Third match, it was Crazy Raccoon. Heck, you could say the same exact thing for Division F. That exact same layout happened, where Detonation Focus Me was on the home team. They lost 30-10. Then Vero took theirs 30-10. Reject took theirs as well 30-10. So maybe it's the game opener that puts a lot of pressure for these people.
Maybe it's like the curse of the opener. Hopefully that's not going to be continued one to continue these brackets. Next up, we have CAG Osaka going up against Good 8 Squad. That is going to be an absolute bar burner. You know, we have the likes of Rich, Ada, Uryo, and Tagaki, who is, man, that guy, that Blanca is insane. He blew up Twitter. Twitter was going crazy for him. If you want to see more of that, you can actually follow this account right there, or, you know, hit us up too as well. We'll be retweeting a lot what's going on with him. Good 8 Squad, of course. Are we going to see the Sagat? You know, that's a question I've been asking myself as soon as I saw Pagera come up. I've been watching his stream a little bit. Are we going to be seeing more of that character? I hope so. I really, really hope so.
I mean, there's got to be a different change now. Good 8 Squad actually were the ones to fall short last week. 10-30 against Crazy Raccoon, by the way. So they're going to need to kind of play catch-up at this point. Sahara was playing in that anchor spot. Will he be forced to play in the anchor spot again now that they have the home team advantage? In the meantime, we do have to shout out to our sponsors, Galleria, being the main PC sponsor for Street Fighter League Japan, and also for a plethora of different events throughout the entirety of Japan, throwing down with so many different collaborations and so many Street Fighter 6 events, right? And you can best believe Street Fighter 6 and Suzuki will have a big presence over at Tokyo Game Show, right? Not only will Jury's Bike be there, but also the cats from Street Fighter 6. They're going to be traveling in from the Osaka office. I'm sure the Tokyo Esports team might be traveling out as well. I don't know exactly what's going to be in store for Street Fighter 6, but I can bet that there will be playable stations in Street Fighter 6. I can only hope those stations have C-Viper.
Please. I know Sherry is like, I don't know if she's going over there, but I know she is hoping for it to happen. Look at all the cool fan stuff. Again, once again, there's so much fan merch that you can get for like, support your favorite teams and things like that. We'll see through the buttons again, but either way, there's still many things to pick up. I'm not sure what these are, but maybe they're flags or something like that. Metal displays. Okay, that's super sick. All right. So again, ways to support your favorite team. You buy the favorite team and maybe put them in your house somewhere and stuff like that. That's really cool that, again, they have that reference to showcase outside and just watching. And there's even more. There's caps, there's keyboard caps, and they've got the lights. The ones I was using at EWC. Oh man, come on now. How can we get these? Yo, production. Can we, maybe for the finals or something like that? That's super sick.
That's a lot to ask for, I feel like. With all of these merch, all the new merch that's been coming out lately, eventually we'll get like one thing to choose from. But in the meantime, we got to pick and choose and figure out which one. You guys saw the conclusion of team match number 1. You're about to experience number 2 is going to be CAT OSAKA versus Good 8 Squad when we return after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Street Fighter League Japan.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
In the making, and this is mine for the taking. Cause I got no it. Take your best shot.
Here comes a new challenger.
この夏ゲームの世界に飛び込もう。世界を魅了し続けるカプコン、そのゲーム作りの裏側に迫る大カプコン展名古屋市美術館で好評開催中。
いやこれはでかすぎる。
ここはラッシュする投げが通
2たまるよ。
ここは中足で OD からライトニングビースト発動。
オッケー。よしよしよしよしよし。
ただ足元から中が通っている。さあ大きなコンボが入って
これ勝てると見てる。
勝ちに行く勝負をかける。
うわー出た。
はい。よしよしよしよし。おっしゃい。あと一本あと一本あと一本。あと一本です
行く高木はどうする。
投げ。
受け入れて
打つ。
よっしゃ
よく打ったぞ。
あるぞ。
グッ。うわ
ナイスナイス。高木よっしゃ。
We are not even close to over with more Street Fighter League action appearing here on the official restreams. My name is Sako, I'm from the Fishes. CAG Osaka versus Good 8 Squad is what's up next. And CAG Osaka, the new kids on the block, no longer experienced with the boy that becomes a man. The block, we've seen how well he could do in the extra match. Hopefully we see him in some full frontal matches out here. Beyond that, it's going to be the Eternal Ace himself, Uryo, on the Jamie, and also the Chun-Li if need be. We see the switch up a lot from him with the active aggression. After that's going to be the Unlimited Dragon Dance. Now, a little more Satsuino sauce. It's Eita on the Akuma. And definitely last, but definitely not least, is the man in the myth and legend, the resident perfectionist. I don't know what that means, but I do know that means that Fenritti is here and he's godlike. We'll see what this team is going to do against the Good 8 squad, who is in a tough position right now, at least in terms of starting things off.
I mean, I guess like the word that's synonymous with like reticent would probably be like reserved, or I guess closer to like introverted. So I guess that makes sense. I mean, we've never really seen like Fenritti pop off or anything, but maybe we will. Who knows? It's a brand new day after all. But let's talk about the home team, the current champs, Good 8 squad. Funny enough, they're coming in at a slight deficit, only having 10 points to their name, currently going into week number 2. You've seen the composition, you've seen the competitiveness from all 4 of these members. Let's take a closer look at current reigning champs on the home side. Starting things off, Good 8 squad. The fearless one. It is Sahara, who's had quite an impressive debut in Street Fighter League Japan and also in the Capcom Pro Tour. One that's very familiar with everything going on in the realm of fighting game. It's definitely the Cosmic Buster. It is Pugera, coming in ever so dangerous potentially with the Sagat. And of course, the singularity that is Kawano, who had his birthday not too long ago. I think he's just turned 27, so happy belated birthday, Kawano. Then our captain, the honest hero, Gachikun, with some of the best defensive capabilities in the business, and also piloting one of the strongest characters offensively, that is Rashid. Quite the composition if you're thinking about Good 8 squad, and it makes a lot of sense that they were the most recent challenge. Is that the Boa Hancock? Is that Pugera doing the Boa Hancock?
I think it is.
I'm pretty sure it is. What a beast. I think he's pretty happy with the most recent chapters. Makes a lot of sense. I love Pugera, man. Easily one of my favorite people on earth. He's actually mad cool.
Yes.
He understands a decent amount of English. He doesn't really like speak it back that well, but like he'll reciprocate, and he also pulls out Google Translate if need be. But yeah, I've had a lot of conversations with him since like Street Fighter 4 days when he was playing Ibuki, because he used to visit a lot. He used to visit in California a lot for like preparation for Evo. He's gone to NorCal regionals. He's done like SoCal regionals as well as before, but that's neither here nor there. CAT OSAKA, this is the order. Fenritti with JP, Eito with Akuma. It's gonna be Uryo with the Jamie, and then Takagi going on the extra spot with Blanca.
You know, I saw Pugera getting ready for the Jamie pick, playing with John Takeuchi. So maybe he goes anchored. Now, of course, that's just maybe a just in case. Maybe to get better with that matchup. I don't know, but I saw him practicing quite a bit, so maybe he goes up a little later. I would like to see that. I don't think that, you know, that character is that bad. The problem is if Uryo does switch over to Chun-Li, that's going to be devious. You know, it's kind of hard for Sagat to fight. I saw some homies playing that out, and it just did not look fun, but that's... Wait for that for a little bit later on, unless he comes up now. Who's coming up now? Let's see, JP. I think Sahara would be a good pick here. Ed would be a good pick against JP. I feel like that's not a bad choice. Or Kawano.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Kawano. It makes sense. Akuma, probably the worst matchup for JP. Aerial addition or aerial work is hard for JP to anti-air continuously. By having a lot of options, Demon Foot blows up damn near all of that. And the fireball's really hard to contest too as well. You know, you want to go man for man with the fireballs. He's a lot richer in that regard.
Yeah, I think like the speed that Akuma gets set, the pace he gets to play at, is pretty impactful against a character like JP, right? One of the biggest things I am concerned about is JP's reach against Akuma. I think his reach is just as good. It may not convert to anything like super big unless it's like a drive rush cancel behind it. But I think I like JP's preventative measures, right? Checking with fireballs, checking with like the spikes, keeping Akuma's aware of when they're allowed to advance forward if the portal's up in front of them. There's a lot that JP can do to play deterrent towards Akuma's offensive playstyle.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I feel like if you're the Akuma player, you have to rotate your options well enough that that doesn't happen. And thankfully, he's got one of the best fireballs in the business, some of the best immediate fireball setups in the business. That's going to really put a hold on the amnesia that JP wants to put up, so your wake-up options are going to be a little bit lessened, or at least your confidence in the wake-up options will be lessened too as well. And you know Kawano's going to hit you. It's going to hurt. This guy is going to leave you on a t-shirt. He is so optimal with this character. It is insane. I remember Daigo talking about him on his YouTube channel. He was like, if I'm looking at Akuma players, there's like two that I'm the most like gathering the data from. Like, it is Kawano and it's Bonchan. And the way that Kawano's been playing, EWC, in terms of we saw at Street Fighter League last year in the finals. He just, if you give him a time to practice against a player and prep against a player, he is going to cook. So League really benefits him. Even if it is a first of two, this really definitely benefits his style overall. So Fenritti better come with something devious. Take on the devil.
Yeah, so we do have the translations coming in from Fenritti. I haven't played with Kawano as much. I lost to him the last time. I would definitely like to get my revenge. Pretty simple stuff. I mean, trying to consider Kawano pretty much taking down a lot of people last season as well. So Kawano's definitely got the big target on his back going into it. I think the Good 8 squad in general has the big targets on their back. So Fenritti kind of sharing that sentiment with a lot of the players that Kawano had taken down throughout Season 2.
Let's see what Kawano's about to say here. He's a little bit of a jokester as well. But I feel like if you're a Fenritti, if you're trying to check the aerial approach, it's going to be heavy kick and air throw. Those are kind of like the more dominant aerial approaches. Like crouch fierce gets blown up by guillotine, dive kick. You know, your other options are just not going to be as good. Kawano does say, though, the others are still debating about the order, but as for me, I won't concentrate on this game. I think he means I won't concentrate on this game, or I want to concentrate on this game, excuse me. I hope we get to see it against Dogura. Yeah. I hope we get to see Dogura a little bit later on, but I do like this pick. I think this is a good pick. Again, good on paper. Maybe they could have had Sahara go up, but this is a good start. And even beyond just the matchup, excuse me, even having Kawano go up as your captain to go up and start off strong is a very good sign to take out their captain.
Already starting off pretty strong. Fenritti with all the momentum and the damage. You put the departure right up in front. Kawano not allowed to move forward, but if you thread the needle with the crouch jab as a counter hit, you do create some space for yourself. Pretty healthy on the drive gauge is Kawano. Fenritti not opting to go for any sort of anti-air, which is kind of tough at that angle. Totally understandable.
Definitely. Only parry droppers 4 fierce. That is +1. Sticks you even more this season. Jump fierce. Yeah, now you're allowed to jump it even more so because you have so many variances that you have to look out for. Fenritti low on the drive gauge. We'll find the anti-air. Recovers fast enough to do so. Baits out. Yeah, he's the whip for it. Still got called out. It's 1-800 damage incoming. No level 1 to get it done. Just a Tatsu. The heavy kick incoming. Oh my God, Kawano again. Optimal as hell.
That's a lot of damage to really consider. Kawano now getting the corner carry off of the roundhouse Tatsu and damage. The amnesia, getting the second part of it for the juggle. Yes, sir. Roundhouse, spin that cane, fierce, set up the departure. What do you do about this, Kawano? He's sitting nice and steady. There's the drive reversal. Excellent call out too. Not quite getting burnout. Fenritti though, level 1 incoming. You could force a burnout here, and he does so with the roundhouse, meaty as hell.
Nice jump back, fade away. Drive rush overhead, blocked out. Had the jab, but no conversion off the counter hit. Backed on for the corner now. Oh, he got a little fireball. It's over. Stand Pierce. Oh no, never mind. He doesn't spin the bar at all. You left the gap. You left this character alive. Not like a man like Kawano. Don't do it to yourself. And you're a burnout too.
Oh, he can get it.
Rest of Odie fireball. Alright, never mind. It's Pierce.
So we talked about, right? The Psycho Stalagmites, right? Akuma can't reign free on offense on the ground so long as that threat is there, and Fenritti called it out too. Damn, hella damage to the level 1 rock already. Back throw. Set up the departure on the other side. I like that call out from Kawano, airborne, and now swinging away first. Fenritti thought it was his turn to act. Upon wake up, not entirely. Kawano, a couple of throws, gaining some of that bar back as well. Another one, he's got one touch away. He could do it. Fireball, he baits out the amnesia. Plenty of plus frames for him to react no matter what. Kawano built up that entire strategy off of throws, by the way, getting himself in the green to get one drive rush cancel, and he immediately checks his phone. He's like, how many birthday texts did I get? Insane composure.
I respond to all these people. He's all right, let me lock in right here. It's like it's a rank match for him. But honestly, as you mentioned, being able to have that pressure with the throws and the fireballs, a lot to worry, and the jump-ins too as well. It's hard to anti. Fenritti hasn't even got a level 2 off. As a JP player, if you're not getting level 2 off, it's looking bad for you. It's looking dark. Backs off Kawano, using that walk speed to reposition himself. Odie fireball to switch it up. Fenritti blocking it out. Not able to get the 4 fierce those. Kawano go for the anti a little bit too far out. Understands the ranges.
Back-to-back sweeps, and it's just Fenritti getting caught standing.
Nice. Understanding of the way to stop, like, okay, this is not plus right here. It's not your turn to drive rush up. And I have this big, beautiful 6-frame button. The stop sign. Kawano, set point now.
Excellent sweep against a low medium kick. Lingering a lot more. The throw bait is there. Kawano still be able to get the conversion too. Look at the damage on board. Meaty fireball. You saw the reversal. Fenritti, I couldn't tell you what that could have potentially been, but it gets blown up regardless. Frame trap? No, frame kill, excuse me. That is something he did over at EWC as well. We saw him debut that exact frame kill off with a low medium kick into the safe jump. Mad tricky and mad rewarding. That's Kawano getting it 2-0 over Fenritti.
No revenge today. And the fact that he did that same setup as EWC, that's, we gotta call that the Kawano special. No side of fries at all. Hefty enough in terms of dealing the damage and catching them black in there. Kawano, bro knows the matchup well and true. And honestly, it's one of those things that we mentioned. It's so hard to defend against this character where he can run the amnesia like you'd like to. He's got so many meaty fireball setups. Obviously, other Shotos do, but Akuma's, I think, are like among the best. Like there are moments where he was able to get the teleport and lock down with the departure, but not enough. And that's just great matchup knowledge. Like understanding, like, okay, after I block this and you drive rush up, you don't have the time to press a button. That was a counter hit right there. And Kawano, clean sweep, 10 points to his team's name so far, in a great start. Ada, who do you send up against him though?
I mean, there's a lot of Akuma practice all across the board, right? You could send damn near anybody. In fact, you could even throw out the mirror match if need be. You have such a stacked lineup that I don't think that's going to be a real question. I honestly want to see Sahara face off against the Akuma. I want to see Ed control that space. And it makes sense. Sahara is going to be the one to step up. It just makes a lot of sense.
The way he got by Shuto, it's almost like, listen, bro, it's time for you to relearn the matchup. Start from basics, and maybe he's been learning and getting better about the matchup and saying, okay, start from scratch. If I see an Akuma, it's on site. I don't care what's on paper. It's about what happens in these streets. And again, we mentioned how difficult it can be depending on the type of Akuma player that you are playing. If they're more flighty, if they're more aerial, if they're demon flipping and things like that, if they're throwing out fireballs. But there are ways to stop some of that pressure and approach. We saw Mochi at EWC be able to perfect parry for a little bit, at least against Kawano, and be able to stop some of the drive rushes right after, understanding the ranges too as well, which forced the Akuma player to use Adamant Flame to catch that. So we'll see if those layers even evolve like that. But again, I think it's one of those matters of like, Sahara's got to get better against this matchup. He got cooked by Shuto. Filleted, flambeed, whatever you want to call it. It was an absolute serving of elimination right there. I think it was 3-0. So he definitely has to get ready for this matchup. But Eita's such a different beast than other Akuma players. Like, we know him for the wild, not wild style over like in Street Fighter 4, but he's able to rein that in when need be in Street Fighter 6. So you don't know when that side of Eita is going to come out.
I think it's a very valid statement. Funny enough, that exact style is what got him killed last week, right? He was playing such a patient game throughout the entirety of his set. If you remember, at the very end, he kind of broke patience and lost to Seiya's Chun-Li because he decided to drive rush in a moment where he was just not in a position to do so. So it really depends. I don't think Sahara is going to allow that to kind of happen. I think Ed just does a great job of controlling the drive rush factor in Street Fighter 6 mechanically, right? He's got the flickers. He does have long-range normals to control the mid-space. If it does happen, it has to be a drive rush into a very early normal from Eita, or maybe drive rush forward from further out into like an adamant fist to check the drive rush, to check the counter check from Ed. But I think Sahara's ready for that. I think more than likely Sahara's ready for that. It's just a matter of whether or not Eita is going to be as patient.
Get the interview. He says, Eita says, excuse me, Sahara was unexpected, but I did practice for everyone. It's not Bagheera, but you know what? I'm sorry. You can't win versus me, Sahara. That is a crazy statement. We already saw what happened to Moke when he was talking mess. Don't let it be you too, Eita. Don't let it be you too. But as you mentioned, I feel like the more we see this matchup, the more it evolves and coalesces into something different. Again, at EWC, as you mentioned, the Adamant Flame switching up and catching them these lacking buttons on recovery or at distances where they're not able to press and get into big boy damage. That was kind of the switch up that we saw from Kawano in that long set. By the way, Sahara says Kawano played a great game, and I'd like to follow that path and get another 10 points. Sahara, I don't think he got a mean bone in his body. I met him, one of the nicest people. He is so nice. He'll dap you up, say, hey, what's up, hello.
It's chill.
But, you know, when it comes time for battle, It's business though. It is business.
Yeah, he's pretty shy. We did have the chance to like talk to him personally at Blink Respawn. The organization took us out to the beach like they do every year. Sahara was there, Mago was there. Mago was live streaming the whole thing. We were all together on the beachfront having dinner. Tokido was there as well. We all took a dip into the beach resort, into the waters as well. So that was a really fun time. We did get to talk to Sahara a good amount. So he is a very like chill individual. He's coming in from a different background. Actually, he's one of the top 3 streamers. I think he used to be like a former like Fortnite player too. Sahara had transitioned from playing like those types of games, those type of shooters into Street Fighter 6, I think just before the start of the year, and he got picked up immediately by the Good 8 Squad camp. So yeah, he's gone from being top 3. Yeah, he was top 3 in Asia, and now he's trying to be that exact same like status in Street Fighter.
What an absolute god of games. Honestly, like when you watch him play on stream, he is one of the most energetic people when he's playing, win or lose. He is just enjoying himself. I've never seen a side of, for most players at least, when they play any sort of competitive game, when they're, you know, business is on the line, to always be smiling and chipper and happy and stuff like that, or like, ah, well, I'll get him next time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know everything that he's saying, obviously, but he's so positive and content no matter what happens. I think he just has a good mindset on the game. It's allowed him to exceed so far in such a short amount of time. But you're fighting a veteran that will play around your reactions, play around the intensities that you want to do. Are you ready for Ada? We'll see. Sahara versus Ada, let's get it. Or he's starting off the low forward, clutching that crouching light kick. I think that's what it was. Or get the counter combo sweep. The knockdown, not a hard knockdown anymore though. It's that fireball. You gotta throw those out a lot more to catch some of these moves before they come out.
Yeah, I mean, like going into the sweep, I don't think it ever solicited like a hard knockdown, right? I think it was more so like an issue. Actually, no, maybe I'm tripping. I'm gonna bite my tongue on that one. I'll check out the patch notes later. It's 4 in the morning, but I don't ever remember like the sweep ever causing like a hard knockdown. Maybe I'm tripping in comparison
maybe
to
more like
how he was before.
No, you're right. I think you're right. I think it's more of just like the advantage, at least. More so. Less of the seed. My mistake.
That's an excellent call. Plenty of damage on board. It's not quite gonna kill, but it leads to a pretty substantial amount of damage into the level 1. Sahara puts himself at least 1 whiff punish away. Does get the forward throw, even more so now. Good call out.
Oh, you're so smart.
From Eita.
DP to bust through.
Go away.
The same way you started, the same way you're gonna finish. End it with the super to seal the deal. That crouching kick is doing a mad work. The crouching light kick just not able to catch. It ate the just right outside that range. He knows the footsie game this character wants to represent and knows how to buffer against it. What a god.
Yeah, again, Eita very much so able to sniff out the gaps in between. No kill rushes are going to be unchecked from the side of Eita. The fireball game pretty strong. The fireball does get perfect parry though for Sahara to move his way on in. Not a big risk, not too much of a punish counter. Actually, no punish counter against Eita, so he's fine with that. OD fireball with the conversion into the roundhouse. I like that a lot.
Mad distance on there. You see a Code Player's getting better and better. And once again, another full forward. Yo, sip this calamity. Eita, so strong in the footsie game, using that walk speed, the fireballs for the variance, understanding how to trap this character and prevent him from getting his moves off or his normals off, just in general. You can see how disruptive those fireballs and that crouch to kick and just the pressure in general can be from this character in Akuma. Like, it's hard. You do have longer reaching normals, but what does that matter if they're slower? The fireballs are ruining what you want to do. We'll see how Sahara adjusts.
To make that adjustment quick, right? He hasn't really been in control to throw out some of these normals or the flicker game because Eita's been throwing much further out fireballs to set the pace, right?
Exactly. And now the various like level 2, maybe level 3 a little bit later on with the fireballs, make it a little bit harder to even perfect parry. But as I say, that proves me wrong. Turns blue, perfect parry jab to start things off nice and close. That's why you have to back up if you're Eita, but now your back's against the wall.
Oh, trying to walk under the guillotine, instead sticks his neck out too far. Oh, big whip punish, we talked about it earlier. Drive him back to get the rest of the meter. Now the flicker pressure is on, and so are the frame traps, right? Extra damage being tacked on. Sahara not gonna quite go for the drive impact. Possibly, Eita might want to reserve that bar. Damn, what a call out. Cross frames again. Being able to tech. Sahara backing away.
Let's see if this is the right call. Okay, to preserve that meter, takes a throw. Gets the bar back. Yeah, it's a hard range to be able to perfect parry, drive rush, jab up. You'll get the furthest range compared to other characters in terms of like the drive rush distance. Able to a lot of various level 2, level 1 fireballs. Might go for some OD. Delay jab. Low 4 back throw. One more touch from Sahara. Drive rush into the block, just chilling, cooling, waiting for a DP, get something at all. Green gauge here for Eita, the low forward, blocked out again. Burn out, drive reversal.
Level 2!
Level 2. Yeah, it's gonna ensure the W.
I'm glad that he threw out the fastball. That's good recognition from Sahara. Eita was pretty much against a checkmate scenario. Level 2, absolutely worth it for the side of Sahara. A lot of leverage coming in from these perfect parries, right? Although Eita can't control the pace with the fireballs. Oh, you ran right into that too. Hella damage incoming. We get the whip punish as well. Bring him back in, scoop him up. Kill rush into the uppercut. 1, 2, 3. One more touch. Sahara is on fire, but now Eita trying to scuff it out. Crouching medium punch to get the exposure.
Look it back in the door. Perfect parry. Holding DP. Are you kidding me, Sahara? Word. Perfect parry into not a butt. This time, holding DP. Yo, the cycle up for yo, Sahara. Oh, he is a gamer. He is definitely a gamer.
He might just be a degenerate, and I like that. He might just be one of us, a true gamer, and I like that. I'm sure Gachikun is reeling in his seat. He's like, that was pretty good.
All right, okay. Should be something different, okay.
Dude, so we talked about this earlier. Like, the amount of control that Eita did have with the fireballs is getting absolutely blown up by Sahara's perfect parries.
I think what makes it worse is that, like, Eita has no room to be able to, like, outrange so that the drive rush after the perfect parry, like, doesn't happen. Like, there's no initiation because he's too close. Yep. He went for the throw, didn't commit to the bit. Should have had a follow-up right after it, though. But you know what? Sahara still has a big lead right now. Perfect parry. Again, yo, the perfect parries. This man loves the color blue. However, this could be still a game for Eita, depending what he does on this defensive side of things, and he can't find a time to press a button. Proper strings right there.
Nice.
Sahara set point.
Very good sequencing from Sahara. Even with the back towards the corner, the lights too. Oh, an attempt at a whiff punish, swing and a miss. Eita, strike 1. Can he survive the rest of those strikes? Forward throw now. Sahara close to level 3. This actually can kill if he gets a whiff punish. Even more so now. Drive impact, the maximum on check. That's Sahara with a perfect to stamp it out. Good 8 squad picked up a damn good player. That is beautifully done and good reads against Eita. He had nothing to fear throwing out that drive impact because he was sitting on a perfect. Eita was not expecting it. That was brilliant.
The future is now, old man. Eita getting clocked by that DI. But even before that, as you mentioned, the perfect parries were landing continuously. And it felt like the more that we saw Sahara just kind of walk forward, it pushed Eita towards the corner. He tried to walk forward a little bit throughout the fireballs. He was like, I don't want to put too far up in the corner or have my back against the wall. But that leads to perfect parry drive rush jab. Like that leads to that working out. Before he was able to outrange the heavy fireball level 2, but this Sahara was picture perfect with the perfect parries. That man was turning blue continuously. What I think should have happened there is, like, if they're going for perfect parry against the fireballs, you have to introduce like some more of those lows, because at that point he's just perfect parrying mids. Drive rush crouching light kick, as some of the other Akuma players might do. But then again, Sahara, he might have just been too ready today. This guy has something to prove against the Akuma player after what happened to Shuto, man. I think he was just going to be too informed no matter what was thrown his way.
It's tough, right? Like, if you perfect parry drive rush forward, I don't think there's a lot that Eita could do frame data-wise to interrupt the drive rush forward, right? Because he's still in recovery of the fireball. So by the time Sahara gets there, Eita's forced to block unless he does something like an OD uppercut, which is so high risk because Sahara could just sit back and block, right? By the time his drive rush is fully recovered. So I do like the idea of maybe coming in with like a drive rush adamant flame or adamant fist, excuse me, but Sahara's been pretty adamant about checking some of the approaches from Eita with both normals and flicker too. And even Sahara would like hold on to some of the flickers to reach like 3/4 of the screen. So I don't think there was ever like a moment to even try to drive rush for the side of Eita, but I wouldn't mind introducing it, right, just to keep Sahara on his toes.
Do something different. Now it's up to Gachikun to try close things out. Maybe we get our first 40 bomb here, or maybe he's gonna switch up. It's not gonna be Fugera. I really thought after I saw Fugera train this matchup, it's gonna have him in reserve for a little bit later on. If it needs to come down to it, it's gonna be Uryo on the away side, and then Gachikun, some of the best defensive tactics we've ever seen. He's a big lab rat. We've mentioned it all the time. He is in his stream just sitting in training lab or playing like, you know, Battle Hub or Battle Lounge matches, really not really playing on rank that much. He's more about grinding out specific matchups and getting ready, prepped, and prepared. But Uryo, I feel like you can kind of say the same for him. Like, a lot of times I see him, he's like training out stuff, make sure his execution is like on point, especially with Chun-Li. We see a lot of cool setups from him, from Jamie and things like that, but also his confidence with this character to know how to switch the I'm gonna drink style into I'm gonna take the Oki style. Like, it feels like it's so rapid, it's hard to tell what he's gonna do on that wake up. So I love seeing his Jamie. It's one of the best times to ever see the character. I feel like last season he beat like Bonchan, a few other players, and it kind of put people on notice like this character is still real. And that's before all the buffs of this season. This season, I think Jamie's a huge threat. I think more people should invest in this character. Obviously not as strong as other ones, but still got a lot of good looks he can give.
We are going to get the interviews underway as well. Uryo getting his interview underway. Before we even get into that translation, again, Gachikun is such a giant threat, right? Like, I don't really get to see Jamie versus Rashid too often. I think there's a lot of maintenance that needs to be done from the side of Jamie to even get started. Like, I like his toolkit after he gets the drink. What happens if you don't get the drink, right? That's always going to be like the biggest question. It's like, what happens if a Jamie player is completely suppressed majority of the time? That answer is definitely going to be questioned. Sorry, that question is going to be answered. Strike that, reverse it. Hello, almost 5 a.m. We'll see if Gachikun even like gives Uryo a chance to even play the game, right? But going into the interviews, Uryo, it seems similar to last week. I'm not too nervous. I'll win and I'll let Takagi play. Very similar in the situations. Uryo was the anchor last week. He had to play off against Otani's Ken, clutched it out. He was down 2, then made the reverse 3-0. So who knows? Maybe he'll be able to make an answer for himself, or at least find the answers for himself against Gachikun. Here we go. Game 1 of the anchor match.
I like this from Gachikun. Set up the fireballs nice and early before he gets the drinks. That's going to help combat the neutral, because Jamie's got some good neutral, but stand medium kick, heavy kick as well. Stand medium, but you get close enough, and stand fierce. One way to stop that is put down the projectiles. Overhead blocked out, take that like the turn, the Raven cycle, but too far out to get on block. We'll take the chance to swing.
Oh, trying to check the walk back. Gachikun just a little bit too far out. Arrow kick, not going to be getting Gachikun slipping.
Not at all. It's heavy. Would love to have a punish counter. OD palm. Takes one swing, takes the space, doesn't go for 2. Gachikun says that's fine though. Hit my level 2. Pushing towards the corner. Perfect parry. Getting the back throw. That was clutch on wake up, but still. Push coast. Reversal jab. Delayed just a little bit. Gets the counter hit.
Oh, and the punish. We get the OD. We get the drink off of that sweep as well. Into the target double. Forward throws. Drinks again. Level 4. Recovers a little bit faster off of that. We get the command grab. Spend the rest of that bar. My man is lit. Only to sober up into the next round. Uryo managed to get a lot of the drinks in, and you see how much of a difference it makes in this matchup.
Yeah. Damage. Access to toolkits that we talked about. Dive. Kokai spin through the fireball. Coming to the Rekka. There's the DI. Proper punish. That's going to kill some of that drive gauge. And get the Oki. Backdash to level 2. You know what to do. Once again, another sip of sauce. Not going to happen. Not on my watch. Look at your keys. Enhancement to ODP. Going for a follow-up here.
Yeah, we got the one framer.
For another mix.
I like that. Difficult stuff. Always executed by Gachikun, or attempted at least. I mean, you have to. One more mix. Damn! Yo, he even missed his opportunity to get a proper whiff punish. He was just, you know what, I'm gonna walk him and throw just in case. Game 1 to Gachikun, very convincing, at least in the rounds where he's gotten the W. But Uryo, man, when he got his, look back with level 4 drink and got his momentum. I will say there's a lot of potential here coming in from Uryo. I really can't dismiss it. The biggest question was whether or not he's gonna get his drinks off. He definitely did so in that second round. So pretty scary potential coming in right now from Uryo.
I wonder if he's going to switch, though. I wonder if this is going to be a matter of him being like, you know, I don't like this matchup at all. Like, I know what I can do with the character. I know it's possible, but maybe I'll just switch over to like a better matchup and then go right over to Chun-Li because her footsie game is insane. And against the fireballs that he's kind of having a little bit of a problem with, he doesn't worry about drinks. He's got Hazachu to cut through. He's like, I could just hit the Hazachu, get the punish counter. That's like one of his worst matchups. So that's an on-paper thing. Again, these are all on-paper things, you know, that players have talked about. What happens in the match is someone that is as studious and studied as Gachikun. Are you ready for that? Like, is your Chun-Li ready for the likes of Gachikun? Can you bust down the defense that this guy has and his offense, his great footsie tools and things like that he's been able to utilize? I personally think, and I'm just going to sound crazy, I want him to stick with the Jamie. I feel like the way that he's playing Jamie, he's on the precipice of accessing what he needs to fight this matchup. Win or lose the matchup, whatever, he's right there in terms of understanding what to do. And I think he might hold his momentum if he goes to Chun-Li. Personally speaking,
I think very valid points are pretty much all across the board from Usain Kola. To kind of like supplement that idea of Chun-Li, it is going to be the Jamie, however, we see it on the screen. To kind of supplement the idea, you know, Gachikun actually fell short to Moke 3-1 at EWC. Moke actually eliminated him from EWC with Chun-Li. And even further back, right, in 2024, towards the Favu Gaming Cup, Moke beat him again with Chun-Li. So there is definitely a testament to what you're saying. I think Chun-Li does have a pretty decent advantage, but it really is a matter of whether or not Uryo is experienced enough in that matchup to fight off against someone as a champion caliber as Gachikun. But we do have the Jamie back on deck here in game number 2, the trade-off, now in favor of Gachikun, slowly losing his turn, but still ready with the whiff punishes again. The corner presence is just too much. Arrow kick again. Very similar start of destruction against Uryo as we saw it in game 1.
That's what he wants to do. He even saw the toe tap from a mile away. All right, hold on. Now let's get the records to get that sip of that sauce. Let's get 2 more to get the dive kick and the Buckeye spin. For ourselves at 100% in terms of damage. Work our way from there. Raw sweep off the feet. It works out. Dive kick doesn't hit, but he does get the crouch fierce and throw it after. That means we get a swing. Yes, sir. We're up in the corner. Oh, but Gachikun able to thread the needle so well. Be able to see what he's trying to do. Jump heavy kick off the Raven Cyclone. OD fireball. Damn, TK dive kick work.
Yo, let it rock. Level 1. Again, a very explosive round from Uryo in round number 2, if he's able to get his drinks managed.
So, like, what's the initiation point? What buttons are we swinging up? We saw a little bit of risk. Trying to find that sweep. Of course, the Rekkas as well. Like, it's not like you don't have the buttons, it's just the timing's got to be there. You can't be lingering a little bit too much because we see Gachikun with punish. OD palm, spin the palm right there, spin the OD gauge, excuse me, side switch. Level 2.
What's the defense like? Take the throw. Get some of the gauge back as well. OD uppercut immediately. OD spinning mixer, excuse me, from Gachikun, missing the 1-framer, but still managing to get a very meaty crouching medium punch. OD dive kick, forcing Gachikun back a little bit, but very temporarily. How do you get out of the corner? How do you succeed in getting yourself another drink, etc.? Forward throw, Gachikun incoming. He actually has an opportunity to build level 2 again. So much of a lead right now. Gachikun can manage a punish counter, which he does off of the crouch jab. That is so messed up, I gotta say. Crouch jab being +5, you get a punish counter into a linked standing light or standing heavy punch, which is 9 frames. That is excellent execution from Gachikun.
That's pretty dang good. That's really dang good right here from Gachikun. He's on game point. Fireball's creating a lot of variance. He's being able to have the whip punishes and form to not understand what Uryo wants to do. And able to side switch and skate on through against a dive kick. That's been a continuous pain point right here against the fireballs. He's trying to answer. Perfect parry. DI for the punish. With the side switch, we do. Put him up in the corner. Toss him like yesterday's trash. And again, sip the sauce right after 2 on the menu.
Throw. We do get the sweep, followed it up into the slip. Counter hit, nothing big out of it. That was counter hit, crouching medium punch. I wonder if he would have been close for crouching heavy. Maybe not. Nice control, Uryo. At least on the board here in the start of game 3. This is how we started off last week, by the way. He might just do it again, unless Gachikun has something to say about it.
Also level 2. Counter hit, but don't fall for the crouching middle kick. No big deal, though. Pushing him towards the corner. Kick push Kosa again. Hits him with the low to open him up off the Arabian Cyclone. In the blender. How do we respond? Hold parry? No, we block it out. Try to throw. His defense is getting open up continuously. If someone's going to understand defense, one of the best in the business in terms of defense. Okay, Uryo with the drive rush cancel. Do we sit? Go for the Oki. But Gachikun with the bust out had all the help to play with. Set point.
Uryo sitting at 3 bars. We'll see how he's going to utilize it. Gachikun setting the pace already with some of the fireballs. Uryo trying to maintain this exact situation, this exact positioning for the jump over against the whirlwind shot. We do get jig number 1. The defense is there thus far from Uryo, not attempting. I was going to say the parry. Does manage to get it against the stand jab. A little delay on the crouch jab now. It's a safe jump.
Oh. Punish on the throw. Close hit. Here's a level 3. Uryo going back to the well. And he is no longer thirsty. Significant punish right here. Should be able to kill. If I'm not mistaken, Udi on DP. It's enough just at the little bit. That's going to be it, Uryo. Oh man, let's look at dicey. I was about to agree with all of y'all talking about use that bar at the bottom, but Uryo finds a way to wait for that level 3. It's a risky gambit right there. Wait for level 3 to get the victory at the very end. A lot of JP players will use level 2 to initiate, or even use some bar just to get some drinks going as much as possible. That's gonna be like the Blah's way, I feel like, and bolt striking them. But Uryo is saving that bar for a rainy day, and boy was it pouring. We got the umbrella out. He stays off game point. He's doing a better job about what he's doing on defense too as well. There have been points we got blown up, but we do see more of the perfect parry attempt that did sway the pace of the match.
Yeah, he missed his opportunity from getting a perfect parry against the Arabian Cyclone off of the blocks ring, but he definitely made it all worth it, getting the perfect parry against the jab. What an excellent call against I guess Gachikun's habits. I don't even know if it's like a habit, really. I think that was like really much so intuition as to when Gachikun wanted to kind of initiate pressure off of like that last string into stand jab. So really good presence of mind for Uryo to throw out that perfect parry and catch Gachikun off guard to lead him into that level 3 moment. So I'm very impressed with his adaptation skills. Like his levels of gameplay evolve as like the match progresses, and I think that just makes him so much more dangerous than any other like typical player.
I do want to agree with your point, though. I think you're onto something saying the habits of Gachikun, because honestly, Gachikun throws out a lot of fireballs to like initiate the neutral, and I feel like even after the initiation point of like the first couple of seconds, he keeps doing that, which is fine. But you see that Uryo's already for that VCTK dive kick continuously, risk the reward. He's gonna keep doing it no matter what, because it's such a strong point against Gachikun and how he wants to play. However, here's a knockdown, charge a fireball, has to go parry, dash up the right after using the enhancement to get in.
Damn, you pay so much out of that. Like, you get taxed and you get put back into the corner. This character's good, yo.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, this character is so sick, by the way, man. Jesus.
So many variants for like the Andersu as well, for like Oki and mix-ups and things like that. The corner is where he can cook. Set point right now. Let's see where we can bring this back.
Level 2 incoming. Gachikun applying the pressure, dashes up, gets to kick it if he wants to. No, he's gonna dash up again. Overhead does get blocked. The enhancement is here. Paying for it yet again. That's the second time he's been checked. Empty jump low off of the Arabian Cyclone follow-up. One more and that'll do it. Gachikun looking pretty pristine. Kind of tough to call. For Uryo at least.
We tech though. Get back in the ring and maybe OD fireball to initiate. So many different looks. OD palm hit. Yeah, take a swig, sneak it in. 2. That means we do have the dive kick and the Bukai spin. So a little less fireballs. Gachikun with the shimmy. Another tech on the throw. Able to block out the low though. Blocks out the low on the other side. A tech on the throw. Uryo does not want to die. Boy, you better use that bar at the bottom. You better hit that level 2 at the very least, or maybe level 3. Maybe he's looking for it with the toe tap. No shot. He set that up. What he has to confirm. All I can do is confirm the time of death is 3-1. It is Gachikun that gets it done. To the cemetery with you.
That was definitely a try and a half. That was That was definitely an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Carlton takes the ball from Will and tries to single arm chuck it from half court. That is kind of rough. On the plus side though, that boosts up Good 8 Squad back into the running for first at 50 points. By the way, our very first sweep of the season.
Well done, the Good 8 Squad. Again, not having the start that they wanted to. Even took the quote-unquote worst matchup with the Akuma and Ed. And even this matchup right here, you can see that Gachikun's defense is just too much, man. It's enough to put you on edge. Even though some good moments, like Uryo having the OD dive kick, I think that was a very smart moment. You saw Gachikun saying, okay, if the fireballs are not working out, especially if you got level 2, I have to become the fireball. I have to initiate drive rush forward. Heavy kick, that's plus. I got to put him on the back foot. If he's not going to initiate level 2 on his side of things and go for drinks more off the knot, or, you know, even, I don't even say take risks, because it's hard to throw out buttons, because you definitely have recovery, you got hurt boxes there. You know, Gachikun's just going to advance right after. So for Uryo, it's just playing outside of his wheelhouse. Gachikun staying strong, standard 10 toes, 40 points, Good 8 Squad, back in business. These are the Street Fighter League Japan champions, the world champions, and looking to do so again. This is a much better result than we saw last week, which was only 10 points, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I don't even know how I feel about that. I think towards the end of that last game, you could tell like Uryo was not trying to play defense in the corner. He was a little bit too antsy instead of trying to like take the throw. You've seen how often Gachikun had punished the jump attempt with forward medium punch into OD Eagle Spike, only to bring him back into the corner. You're taking that much health trying to jump out, only to put back into square one. That feels bad, right? That happened twice within the same game. So, or actually within the same round, my mistake. And just that impatience, I feel like, is what really bit like Uryo in the end. Like we talk about the defense that Gachikun does have. It's not even just for controlling control or even getting himself out of the corner, etc. It's like him also being able to control when an opponent is trying to jump out, right? Like still also like actively trying to check that.
For him to hold those ranges and understand that is definitely, again, a credit to his lab work, his understanding of that defensive, you know, timing, things like that. And also understanding of like the counter pokes that people want to do. We saw that Uryo tried to go for like that toe top to like initiate something, like maybe catch a button with a counter hit. It just wasn't working out. You know, again, Gachikun holding that space up in the corner place was picture perfect. We saw, as you mentioned before, medium punch, crouching medium punch, and the side switch. He was ready for everything. It was obviously one game that we saw a little bit from signs of life from Uryo with the dive kick, and there were some rounds where he got level 3 where it definitely worked out for him. I would have liked to see maybe, it's gonna sound kind of grazing, what happens when there's more focus on getting the drinks instead of taking Oki. There's a few moments where you saw him, he used Oni Palm and he took one sip and he dashed forward to take the space, but he wouldn't take 2 sips. What would have happened there? How would the game have gone in total if he would have taken more drinks, had more access to more damage? So if he hits, he hurts. And maybe that builds up the confidence. Maybe it would be the same result, but maybe be a different result in terms of how close it would be. I'm not sure. This is what it could have, should have.
It's hard. I think I would much rather try to get like the pressure more so than letting Gachikun run his game in neutral. Like if you let go of that momentum, I think it's just much harder to even like settle with. Because let's say I don't know if getting a second drink would like really guarantee anything either. I'd much rather try to take that gamble of like, I think it's weighed more in taking your pressure in comparison, right? I don't know where it necessarily leaves you at depending on like the spacing of it all or like where the opponent is on the screen as well, but yeah, I'd much rather see a Jamie player use one bar drive rush to enforce his will and force the other person to guess another time.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. We've definitely seen some variants for the Jamie players, but we'll see what Uryo does next time he shows up, if he has the Chun-Li ready. Pugera, we had an interview from him. He said there are a lot of patterns in CAG's order, so the role was not sorted enough. So we're ambiguous of what CAG wanted to do, but Pugera wasn't able to play today. I was definitely hoping to see his Sagat. Again, that has been like the primary Sagat player that I've been watching. A lot of people have been too as well. Bonchan, shouts out production telling me that Bonchan and Pugera were having discussions in terms of how to learn the character and build that character up. Pugera is just surprisingly the one that's been the most informed with the character. So we didn't get to see him today. Hope we get to see him later on. I want to message him later because I want to know like why he thinks the character is so good, because he apparently sticking with the character for the most of the season. I don't know if he's gonna be pulling out the Bison or not, but either way, good work to Good 8 Squad, reading all the other interviews with the rest of the crew. So Sahara, bro, in a team-based setting, and this is your first year ish of like professional Street Fighter play. To have the confidence to come back after getting beat so badly is crazy work. That is mental fortitude that people have been playing for decades longer than you wish they could have.
Yeah, I mean, he's under the tutelage of a lot of experienced players, right? You have like Capcom Cup champ, you have Street Fighter League champ, you have veterans of all different like perspectives too. Excuse me. Of so many different types of perspectives too, with like characters that they play. So Sahara is definitely in good hands, and it's not even just under like the tutelage of Good 8 Squad, right? Like he also practices a lot with like Mago. There have been a lot of pictures of them together playing like a ton of sets over at Blink Respawn, even at Evo when they invited him over to the hotel room. He's definitely been accepted far and wide by a lot of the pros in Japan, so he's in very much so good hands, and I love his current progression towards becoming one of the best ed players, not only in Japan but in the world eventually. I would love to see him progress even further with other characters or even like other events. We do get the translations coming in from some of the interviews. I don't know if you covered Pugera, but just in case, I'll do it again. He was talking about the patterns in CAG's order, so the role wasn't really sorted out. That's fair enough. Kawano was coming in. Pugera was not understandable just before the game, but it was great that I was able to watch out for JP's specific move. I don't know what that means. Was he speaking in parable against JP tactics? Who knows? Sahara coming in with his interview as well. I was so nervous at first, but I was able to stay calm at the end of the game, which is pretty imperative to note, right? It comes really down to how you execute and how you maintain your nerves after all. So really good perspective, really good kind of like I guess patience and discipline from the side of Sahara. And then also we do have Gachikun coming in with his side of the interview too. This is something that's kind of common, what he's about to say. He says, I wasn't really practicing for Jamie before the season, but I had the chance to play with Naruto, who we mentioned, right? I had the chance to play with Naruto, John Takeuchi, etc. John Takeuchi does have a pocket Jamie, which he's shown off in the CPT, and also on his stream. So with that in mind, he does say it worked. It really, really worked out for me. Naruto is definitely, I think, the #1 candidate to practice for Jamie in Japan.
Oh yeah, he's probably like the best in terms of like besides Uryo. He's like the best one in Japan, maybe the best in the world to be honest. In consideration of like what he's done over at some of the tournaments, you know, Victrix obviously up there. Shouts out to him. I wish he could play more, but him as a doctor. But like, there's not that many JV players, so you have to really search out the ones that are godlike and really kind of sit down with them and practice. And so he was lucky enough to do so. He said, next up is Saishunkan, Kumamoto, and Nemo was saying that I prepared Kobon just for Gachikun. I know I won't be playing against him, but I'll make sure he won't be winning next week. He's like, listen, you might be preparing him for me. I won't even fight him, bro. But he ain't gonna win though. My guy right here gonna take him down.
Well, it's funny that Nemo would make such a threat / a promise when they're on the away side. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen, right?
Can't enforce that. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, the only way you can enforce it is if the matchup list was so much in your favor that he'd have to be forced there. And I don't think the way the character spread is for Good 8 Squad, that's not gonna happen. Like, that's not. Good luck, Nemo. Good luck is all I gotta say for that regard. But in terms of like the combatants, in terms of them going head to head, I think it'll be a nice little even match. So we're excited to see that one next time we meet for that one. But we still got more games to play out here. Still one more marquee match to end off the night. I mean, they've all been marquee matches. Crazy Raccoon, Saishunkan, Kumamoto, as we just talked about it. You know, we're gonna be having these cats come up here and see who's gonna clean up.
This is so sick too. Crazy Raccoon and Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto had such explosive starts last week, right? Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto started things off on the away side, being at the deficit, quote unquote, getting 30 points over Victrix Favu Gaming. On the other hand, Crazy Raccoon having the full advantage, and also, actually no, they don't get it again. Yeah, they had the full advantage of being on the home squad last week and got their come up against Good 8 Squad, 30-10. Pretty significant. So both these teams coming into it with their big 30 bomber. It's gonna be Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto on the home side advantage this time around though, so a little bit of a switch up. But now, switching up to things over on the side of Japan, the Red Bull Student Academy is actually a pretty damn good idea. I'm actually quite curious to see how that plays out. They've been going on with their current run throughout August, I do believe. It had just concluded, and they're going to showcase the finals over at Tokyo Game Show. That's going to be super exciting to watch. And also, we have the CPT premiere in Chengdu, China. That's going to be coming up at, I want to say, is that towards the end of October? It should be the end of October if I'm not mistaken. I didn't know that.
October or November.
I don't know what the date is on the board right there. It says September 17th through the 18th. That's Wednesday through Thursday. I don't necessarily know what that is, but I assume that's gotta be like in preparation for it, perhaps. I'm gonna get clarification on that.
Yeah, it might be something where it's like journeying towards that. Like maybe if you win this, you get towards like you fight and stuff like that, like towards that tournament. Possibly, I'm because I see a little plane right there towards the premiere. If that's the case, that's really cool. If not, we'll look up the dates real soon. But you know, shouts out to the museum once again. I keep seeing things on this program that I need to go to. I'm running down to my notebook that I'm gonna go to when I go back to Japan, which hopefully is soon. But there's so many things to be looking out for. I hope they have, like, again, Dragon's Dogma stuff, because I'm a big Dragon's Dogma fan. I know you just mentioned that they have obviously Mega Man we see on the screen and Street Fighter. And here are the dates on the screen. If you get to go out there, unlike me, in the near future, go look up those dates. Go look that stuff up. That's gonna be a really fun time. Listen, people, the fun time is we have one more final match, as mentioned, Crazy Raccoon versus Soul. We'll see you after this break for more Street Fighter League Japan action. Don't go nowhere.
再開は21時25分頃予定しております。それでは一旦失礼いたします。
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
I'm a legend in the making, and this is mine for the taking. Cause I got what it takes. I'm number one, 'cause I'm yes, no bricks, lifestyle. Talking on time.
comes a new challenger. World Tour. Fighting World. Battle Hub. Local violence match. Fighter 6.
何があっても怒らんといてな。何があっても怒らんといてな。いろんなことが起こると思うから。
何があっても。
何があっても。
この大胆地ですね。これが一つポイントになる技だが。
ナイス。
ナイス。おみかつ。早めの仕掛け。
いやー、足りねえ。
ひらりとかわしていたサコエレナ。体力ボンから残りますね。そうですね。
ナイス。
でワンコンボ入れたが大パン。これで画面足。それでも
出た。出た。
大きなダメージ。
大丈夫大丈夫。
出た。
大丈夫です大丈夫。何があっても怒んないです。大丈夫です大丈夫です。スクリュー2回食らっただけです大丈夫です。
ドライブゲージまでになるが小林はもうミスは許されない。触られたら危ない状況。カードを固めながら前に出る。バックステージ。
マジで。どうなんで。
あららあららあららあららら。
ごめん。
足を伸ばしている。ドライブが
いいよ。
スクラッチバーンとする。さあどうする小林。ゲージを2つ。
おい。
噛み合わせていった。
おい。
おい。
完璧。
ナイス。
さすが。
よし。コンボ見せた時なんかすげえ白くなった。
怖いですよね。
怖い。
さあここからはチーム
Coming into team battle number 3, it's going to be the top 2 as of the start of this week of Division S. Crazy Raccoon going up against Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto. Let's get introduced by the away team. It's going to be Bonchan, aka the judge, jury, and executioner. Hello, coming in with the judgment. What the hell's going on? I'll tell you what, we have Kazunoko also coming in. Loved by all fighting games. You're damn right. Former Capcom Cup champion, by the way. Love seeing that. The Asura coming in with Shuto, with the ever impressive and aggressive Akuma, all led by the man with the devilish plan, the devilish strategist that is Dogura, captain of the crazy Raccoon squad. Welcome back, everybody. A little bit of a flub up. This is Vicious here with Senkola. We got our introduction with Crazy Raccoon, and what a squad, man. Super top tier, in my opinion.
Oh, does that mean he did the tiger shot? He did the thing. Does
He's
that
not
mean we
doing
get
it.
Sagat?
Nah.
He's not doing it. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. All right, now it's time for Saishunkan Kumamoto, the one the sun shines on. This team has been reigning supreme for a long time, has been hitting playoffs, but is searching for that big W to qualify for Capcom Cup Finals. You got a lot of stack players out here, and Nemo, speaking about deals with the devil, has made one with the Grappler faction. Let's talk about this real quick. Saishunkan Kumamoto, stack team, a lot of Ryus. Let's get it. First up is gonna be the unstoppable grappler himself, Kobon. Both in the game and outside the game. That man is stacked. All right. Good on the Geef, causes some grief. After that's going to be the Iceman, cold, blood in the veins, frozen, Kosa. Skating on through this composition with the Ryu and the Ken, I think. We've seen both. Mr. Optimal, always optimizing all of his combos in all the situations. It's Macho Ball. And of course, the last, but definitely not least, the brutal emperor himself, Nemo, JP, Blanca, Bison if need be, a man of the psycho power for more than an hour. This team is ridiculous. And as mentioned, Nemo had walked over to the grappler side and said, I want to have Kobon on my squad. That's how you know it's time for business. It's time to work, and he wants to win.
I like the composition of this team as well. I think they're all highly intelligent players. They have their ways of going back and forth between different play styles, especially Nemo. He could play aggression, he could play a little bit of a whiff punish game. Shuto changing up between Marisa and Akuma has been, full transparency, very effective in my opinion, being able to play both styles. My main concern is like Machibo's confidence with Akuma right now, and Kobon actually has been quite the dice roll. Is confirmed Bonchan coming out with the Sagat in the second match. Let's talk about who comes up first. Kazunoko with Kami starting off just like last week. Shuto in the anchor spot yet again, and Dogura taking a little bit of a backseat in the anchor match as Elena. We do love seeing that. Confirmed, Sagat is landed. I repeat, Sagat has landed.
Okay, he'll appear soon. But to start things off, send up Kobon. Geef versus Kami, you know, from the Geef players' perspective, they say it's pretty damn good. I don't know about this season, but previous season, they definitely liked it because you can output the character, you can outpoke her, laureate against her dive kicks. And of course, the damage, if you get too close to any sort of minus frame scenario, it's going to be an SPD immediately. This season, he's got a bigger hurt box, so I don't know if that makes it way worse. But it will be Kobon, so I do think that there's something in this matchup still for the likes of Geef to cause some grief again. That being said, Kazunoko is just so different. We already talked about how, yeah, the matchup of Kami and Akuma, Kami's gonna lose, and that was with Kawano and Kazunoko, but Kazunoko showed something different with this character. He has a different style, a different approach than other Kami players. You know, he establishes the ground game, then goes insane with the aerial approach, with the dive kicks, the jump ins, and so much variance, it's hard to keep track. So even though you do have the OD Laureate to catch a lot of her aerial options, maybe it won't work against the likes of Kazunoko's timing. Maybe it might be a little different for him, his side of things. But I do like this pick on paper, though. It's the right pick on paper for Seoul, but is this the right person, though?
That is a very valid statement to make. I think there's a lot to really take away in regards to like how Kazunoko approaches each and every one of these matchups, right? He's so player-oriented, more so than like matchup-oriented, that I don't think the Zangief would be able to, I don't think Kobon would be able to kind of like match up in terms of what Kazunoko's laying down. But it really depends, right? I think Kazunoko being so read heavy might bite him in the end as well, right? It's really up to Kobon to kind of play it cool and try to enforce his will earlier than Kazunoko gets to get started, but it's so tough to manage, right? You talk about the current pace of the characters. Cammy is still able to kind of like set the pace pretty well against Zangief from certain ranges until she gets predictable, right? One of the big banes of a lot of Cammy's existences is the charge up stand fierce, right? I also think Zangief does a pretty decent job of being able to contest against the dive kicks with Lariat, also with armor as well. I think there's a lot to kind of really consider in this matchup where we can actually say, yeah, I don't think Cammy gets to fully run away with this matchup.
Yeah. You know, one thing that does benefit that Punk was doing was like heavy kick. Remember him using that during the finals of CPT, like using it outside ranges where Keith really can't contest with his buttons, where it's uncomfortable to like poke with stand medium or crouching light punch, things like that. However, as you mentioned, then the stand fierce comes into play and then that starts getting more utilized, start getting the knockdowns, and then you can't even jump. So we're getting the interview here. Kazunoko said, I knew this matchup, so I practiced for it. So he was ready, prepared, knew that it was going to happen. You know, if you're coming up here as a Cammy player and you see Keith on the other side, you know it's going to occur. So he's ready. And he says, if I start off well, I'll have a chance. So he's thinking about hitting that snowball and then rolling from there to get that W. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it too, right? It really depends on like how well both characters snowball, because both characters are actually capable of doing so. Cammy has great presence in applying knockdown after knockdown. I think the potential for snowball from the side of Zangief is his reset potential off of headbutt, enforcing the guess scenario between like a strike and throw, right? I think in regards to the strike and throw mix, it's going to be kind of shallow to say this, but in regards to the strike throw mix, I think Cammy could be death by 1,000 cuts, whereas Zangief could be quite explosive if he makes the right call. And like, it ends up being a little bit of a loaded dice roll if you block headbutt after headbutt after headbutt, right? Not only are you forced to like move away from it and also try to think about defending, the more you defend, the more drive gauge you lose, right? And the more often that happens, that you block it, Kobon gets more opportunities as soon as he sees you grounded to throw out that SPD.
Yeah, data gathering tool. For him, for Kobon, he's not like one to dice roll immediately. He establishes like the lights and things like that. He'll go for driver's jab, like 2 pieces into like a reset sometimes, but he's willing to play that up to that point, death by 1,000 cuts, into like the explosive damage. He's really more like footsie based sort of a player when it comes to this approach with the Geef. We'll see if he can take on the likes of Kazunoko and clip those wings if Mans gets aerial. Drive rush, oh, the hell stab, but it's blocked out here from Kazunoko. And talked about that heavy kick. Right back at him with the fierce though.
Creating the spaces, Kazunoko with the roundhouse. Kobon not going to be ready for the big opener now. A little bit dry on the drive gauge. Kazunoko has to enforce his will with a couple of these mediums. Yeah, he gains back some of that bar. Kobon now introducing the DIs, and now the armor, exactly what we were talking about. The big gamble, another thing we were talking about. Kazunoko making the read of a lifetime, or at least for the round. Kobon calling it straight and correct.
Damn. Heavy kick worked out for the stand fierce, started working a little bit more. Stand light kick, whip punishing that stand medium kick. Had that button out and about, put him up in the corner, crouching light kick. Such a good opener. If they wake up stand fierce, it's gonna delete that off the table. That does die to lows. And then range again to pressure with the crouching kick or the heavy kick, or punish if need be. Press the issue off the drive rush cancel.
Out the door a little bit. Not too bad. Kobon trying to enforce his will out of the corner. The jump does get covered. Kazunoko trying to check. Not that kind. Definitely not going to be able to DI check.
The bar from the stand light kick. Could more of that drive rush. Kazunoko gonna make him pay. Put him up the corner of the shimmy. No full follow up to finish off the job. Resets with the headbutt, as you mentioned. Kills the drive gauge. The start to stay nice and close. OD Lariat. Did he block it out? He blocks out the spin drive smash. Level 1.
Drive rush on in there. You're going to have to, right? The interruption! Kazunoko calling it right with the crouch jab. Kobon trying to find a delay.
Careful, she still got bar. No impact just yet. Blocks out the jump, but not the back medium right after. Kobon gets opened up with the option. Round around though.
Excellent work so far from Kazunoko, escaping the corner. Back-to-back fierces coming in from Kobon, already in prime shape to actually catch Kazunoko and possibly throwing out longer recovery normals, or like uncancelable normals, right? Fierce again!
100% that distance, the crouching light kick. Oh! Hits it with the headbutt. Kawano trying to leave and do something. Oh yeah, level 2 coming through. Oh, the frame kill to get the burst dynamite. No, level 1, excuse me. Even more optimal to get done, damn. Yo, Kobon.
Yeah, he's kind of sick with it, right? He got the Hell Stab into the OD Lariat. Hell Stab for the frame kill is actually some devious work, right? It just looks funny. But yeah, he was already primed up and proper for the level 1. So sick, man.
Yo, Kobon, man. We optimize this character as well. And the footsie game he's running is insane right now. Forcing out the ODDP, forcing out the expenditure from Kazunoko.
I'm loving this back and forth right now. Kobon has really set the pace quite well. Hell Stab Lariat, all from the light confirmed. You're actually gonna die off of that! You don't even need the rest of the meter. Kobon, looking at match point. Kazunoko is getting dismantled right now.
It's hard for him to keep counterpoke. Does keep the OD dive kick as soon as I say that. Takes to the air. Put over the corner, but Kobon's defense has been next level. We've seen a lot of the 4 frames. Now get interrupted. DP. BD crouch fierce. Backs up for the anti-tower. Yes, sir. Oh, you thought. Don't leave a gap.
The delay on the crouching light, and now transition into SPD. The great equalizer now. Kobon just gonna be walking it down. Just have level 2 intact. It's Kazunoko trying to find a way to get the rest of this confirmed. Drive rush cancel in. Level 3 is intact as he should. He does spend it. Keeps himself alive. Kobon again staving off a little bit of match point for now, right? That was on his own volition, trying to get out of the way, or at least try to attempt to press a button after the OD dive kick. It's Kazunoko hanging out just a little bit in this match.
The amount of things you gotta do in this match to make it work right now for Kazunoko. Level 3, excuse me, as a reversal, as like a finisher, could be devious. Stand light kick, no driver's cancel right after. Just willing to poke it out right now. Play the range, waiting for him to whip a stand fierce or low. Kobon not biting.
Backing away, pretty weary of Kobon's movements, or at least options on wake up. Oh my god.
Oh, that was clutch. He knows, as you mentioned, he sees what's at the bottom. The bar.
Oh, wait a minute!
Use it now.
My man got baited.
Boom.
Driver's time.
Oh, but the wake up is
Kazunoko doesn't give a damn. My man did standing light kick on wake up. He's like, I don't give a damn about your CA or your drive rush. That was cool. That was fancy. But check this out.
Real good work there. Now watch this stand light kick on wake up. No fear in his heart. And honestly, Kobon's the type to, like, hit the brakes a little bit, wait and bait. We saw him bait ODDPs and other buttons and things like that. This time, stand light kick came through in the clutch on the wake up, understanding, like, I can play this button. He's not gonna go for like a bigger button right here or stand fierce or whatever it may be at that level 3. Man, but still, very close game. Very, very close game. They are calling a timeout right here. There are just a few things I feel like Kobon needs to do. Yeah, you're right. It's a mad early one to call a timeout for, right? First game? Like that?
My man is hogging it for himself. He's like, I need this more than you guys. You don't understand. I gotta face off against Kazunoko. He put his hand up. He was like, guys, I need this. I need to talk to my team. Let me take this, right? I hope they understand that it's only one.
Yeah, you only get one. Yo, teacher, please help. You know what? Here's the assistance there. I feel like there was a moment where he backdashed and Kazunoko was still there. Obviously, this is like foresight, but like he could have level 3'd at that point. There was a moment when he was in the corner. Defensive level 3 would have probably at least given him at max, or minimum, excuse me, the lead. At max, probably would have killed that moment. But again, it's hard to call because it's Kazunoko giving so many different looks on the dash up, crouching light kick, jump back heavy kick, and stuff like that. So many different looks that he's doing on a wake up. They're not reversals. They're not just like straight up reversal buttons, like ODDP or whatever. Excuse me. So
Real quick question. Wait, level 3 in what instance? Because we did see the level 3. We did see critical art from the side of Kobon, like towards the end, right? Like,
before that happened. So there was a moment that was before that level 3 had happened that he could have got a huge lead from there because he was already caught up in the corner. It was the first time he got caught up in the corner in that round. He could have hit level 3 because he did the backdash. I thought that was coming through. I thought he was going to read backdash into level 3 against a button from Kazunoko, and Kazunoko was still in front of his face. But again, that's like a hindsight thing. You know, he didn't use it level 3 a little later on, but he could have got the lead from that in that moment. And I thought that's what the backdash was to read the level 3. But again, that's a hindsight, and that's the other difficult part is Kazunoko was making it so ambiguous. It's not just wake up ODDP, it's wake up stand leg kick as you mentioned. It's wake up buttons, it's wake up jump back heavy kick. It's like, yeah, you could get that to land, but this dude's doing a million different things on your wake up, on his wake up. How do you know what he's gonna do?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more of a dice roll to do it in that instance. If Kazunoko's not really like shown any sort of signs of like readability, like, there's no like telegraph things that Kazunoko's been throwing out there for Kobon to make that executive decision. Because if you, let's say he does go for the dice roll and it whiffs, right? Like he's automatically dead. Right? How do you load your chances up to be less predictable with level 3, right?
Yeah. So I guess the question is, how do you get to that point where your chances are loaded in your favor now? Like for Kobon, in terms of like the reads, in terms of like the understanding, it's hard. Kobon does have the lead right now. Pro score, let's stay up fierce. It's a heavy. Was hoping for a punish counter, get some distance. Not working out.
Kazunoko gonna be backing off, right? He doesn't have enough to get like a single hit confirm into the drive rush. Now he does, but he's still gonna be backing away and getting some more of that drive gauge back, right? He wants to play a resource game rather than an aggressive game.
I see. He's one with the shaft, and he actually holds back a little bit, baits it out, gets the kill. Kobon, that was clean. That was absolutely dirty. Pull it forward though. What's the corner? Second jab. Third jab, he was able to hit.
Damn. Pretty brave on some of these lights. The immediate check against the drive rush. Not gonna go for level 3. Doesn't really need it just yet. Uh-oh. What happens if Kobon makes the comeback? He's gonna regret it. Very close to match point from the side of Kazunoko. I mean, with the way he has his life feed, it might just be again immediate check on the drive rush. Kobon trying to Street Fighter 6 his way into victory. Kazunoko says no. I've played every Street Fighter, fam.
But damn near every game. I'm loved by all fighting games. They love me back. I have no enemies. Perfect parry though. Kobon keeps a nice close after this command throw. Red Splash gets a headbutt right after OD Laureate. Oh, the drive gauge. The drive gauge. Plays a little bit looking for a reversal. Kobon not giving anything at all. Excuse me, Kazunoko. He's going up in the corner though. Kazunoko. It's that defense like, can he find a low confirm? He's hunting for it. He's looking for it, but don't whip too much.
It's tough right now. Kazunoko being stuck in this corner too. A lot of the trades are going to be in favor of Kobon. Dash up, counter hit. That's going to be all she wrote. What a way to weave against the timing of Kazunoko. That was mad smart. He was so ready to dash up in Kazunoko's grill and come in with one of the faster normals in his arsenal. That hell stab as a counter hit was so imperative. 7 frames to catch Kazunoko slipping. Kobon might be the GOAT.
Oh, he's definitely the GOAT. To use your character like this, we saw it before, the hell stab as a friend kill, and now we see it as a counter confirm. To use your character like this in moments where people don't expect, for certain moves that people don't expect, insane. That's a real key player right there. Nemo, you made the right choice. But honestly, I mean, like, that timeout was definitely worth it. They definitely found a way to weave himself in throughout the buttons, the litany of buttons that were coming through from Kazunoko, and not getting opened up low, which is obviously a big thing. You take it back from outside the corner. You don't get your pressure anymore if you have him up in the corner. But we did see a lot from Kobon to, like, stress Kazunoko out for these bust outs. The headbutt, and he did, like, the 2-piece, and he just waited. and let Kazunoko hit the ODDP. He's like, cool, spin your bar, put yourself in burnout, and give me the kill. Like, there are some good moments. I like the jump backs and things like that, but when Kobon is kind of walking down, not exposing too many buttons right here, not just drive rushing up mindlessly, not even mindlessly, I shouldn't even say, but just trying to initiate too obviously to where, you know, he can get caught. Damn, that was so sick. It wasn't even punch. He caught that counter hit of it. This man is... No, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get the W, right? Sometimes you gotta make concessions. You gotta talk to the enemy for bigger enemies because there's bigger fish to fry. 10 points. Soul starts off.
That was an excellent call out too. That was definitely crafted by Nemo's decision making to put Kobon out there for that specific matchup, and that's like such an important hurdle to get over to start the matchup, right? Kazunoko is so strong-willed and also strong-minded in any matchup that he plays. Like, granted, he hasn't had the exact start that he's like... So actually, no, he did have a pretty decent start in week number 1, getting 2-1 over Kawano's Akuma. But in this matchup, I'm actually quite surprised. Nemo stepping up to Bonchan Sagat with Bison. Word.
Not JP. A lot of Sagat players say that match was quote-unquote bad, but we don't know. Nobody knows. I mean, this character has only been out for a couple weeks, and we haven't played at high level that often, so it's hard to know. But I do like him. I like Nemo coming up. At first, I was like, Nemo should be last. He should be the anchor position. Run the Bison there, because if Shuto's going to get flighty, he's going to be one of the best in terms of dealing with that. But I feel like if you're gonna have to play against a character with y'all don't have as much experience in terms of like matchup knowledge, put someone like Nemo's gonna play that one-player game as a person as he plays to fight off against Sagat. Like if you're gonna run this, run a first or two, run your Bison. You have ways against the fireballs. Your bomb setups are really good and aggressive and damaging. But on the reverse of things, I'm just happy to see Bonchan with Sagat. I know it's not the same Sagat he's had before, but I can't wait to see how he works around it. You know, works around this new addition to Sagat that's more buttonsy than fireballs.
I actually don't really know how this matchup is fleshed out thus far. I've been playing like a ton of both like Sagat and Bison lately because I've been wanting to try to like see what one could do over the other. I don't mind really Sagat not playing the fireball game in this matchup so long as Bison's not maintaining the charge. I also don't mind Bison's current way of closing the gap against a slow walking character. Great. I think we definitely consider scissor kicks being a factor in closing the gap, right? And also catching people off guard a lot. So I really wonder if Bison's pacing is going to be enough to like stop Sagat. And also, what's really important is I think he could slide under any high tiger shot as a punishment.
You're right. You're actually right.
So that's tough.
Yes. That makes the rhythm of what you want to do with Sagat kind of weird, because what I've been noticing is like when Cameron and some of the other high-level Sagat players, if they feel like their buttons are too slow, so they'll do like button, and like fireball. If they feel like the next button's gonna be too slow to interact with or like play neutral with, right? Like the other buttons are too you know, too much startup or whatever. They'll play a fireball in between all of that. But if Bison can slide underneath of that, that makes it kind of hard to do that approach, right? To have that rhythm of buttons. His reward is really good. I mean, Sagat's reward is insane. Like, once you land some meterless combos, you dip with the bar in the corner, he's cooking. But to land that takes some work. And against a character that has good walk speed, that can fade on and out, he can shimmy you. As you mentioned, he can hold the charge, but he doesn't really have to. He can just play the buttons with stand fierce, stand medium. He can also stomp in some ranges in some weird angles where it's hard to DP, so you have to go for forward heavy kick and stand heavy kick, so you better be on point. And if you're a legacy player, you're like, damn, bro. Like, I'm not used to doing that continuously. I've watched Bonchan have some issues, so we'll see if that's like that right now.
Sagat actually has a counter against head stomp. We can kind of go airborne and go like jump medium or jump roundhouse because of a weird angle that he has. So he does have like a decent answer going air to air against Bison. Oh, light kick by the way. You actually used the wrong version, Bonchan, excuse me? My man is still stuck in Street Fighter 4. He got counter hit, step low. He went crouch jab because it's a counter hit, right? And he went into a heavy DP.
It's not like that anymore, man. Heavy DPs for something different. Oh.
While the bomb is planted, this is the thing, right? Sagat, exactly, dude, I was just about to say it. He actually has defense against the bomb, right? He has OD uppercut. So it has to, like, you have, like, Bison players a lot more weary. Exactly that. What did he talk about? Jump roundhouse, right? Against the stomp, against the head stomp.
mentioned it. Worked out. Okay, Bonchan. Got the notes. I'm glad the old head of him did not take over, try to DP that. Is he went to go for the air-to-air, something safe and solid. First game to him. I'm trying to drive rush up. Scissor kick is there to meet him. Counter hit, so we get that light kick in the OD back fist and some Oki right after it. Bomb is on. Skates to the fireball. He's been charging for days. Been dunking. Another helping of a bomb. Another serving.
Hella plus frames on the way over. Back-to-back throws. Nemo could do this all day if he wants. And Bonchan actually trying to read the throw yet again with movement. Perfect for Nemo. There's going to be an explosive start to round number 3. Bonchan, again, very reluctant to throw fireballs for a very good reason. But once he's in that range, closer up, then he's allowed to kind of throw it, right? It's kind of weird that he's not even using it as like a zoner tool, which he can't, in my opinion, in this matchup. So that's going to be a block. Absolutely. Forward step kick.
And a punish.
Get the back heavy. That's what I'm talking about. Dish out the rest of it. Uppercut. Level 3. It's not going to kill, obviously, but it puts him in a damn good position so long as Bonchan doesn't put himself in the corner. And he's got plenty of tools to play keep away with this.
Oh, yeah, he can. This mid-range is perfect for him. He's just going to walk up and throw. That slow walk speed as a tank. The perfect KO from Bonchan. That's the threat. After that happens, there's so many things he can do. Stand medium kick. He can low shot if he wants to. It's kind of dangerous. He might get jumped in. But there's so many tools. You got stand fierce, crouch fierce, a litany. So that walk-up don't happen for that reason. First game here, that Bonchan raw sweep off the feet works out. Nemo trying to get that throw. Oh, sweep. There we see, once again, it's talked about, under the fireball.
Plus frames maintaining the pressure. You saw an attempt at a Tiger knee too. Oy, the big punish counter. Nemo applying the bomb. OD uppercut. Right. Live by the sword, die by the sword. And Nemo forcing Bonchan to make a grievous error. Thankfully enough, Bonchan does have a game under his belt. He's got to play that risk. Crouching medium punch, an excellent tool to check the drive rush. Yes, sir, we got the Oki afterwards. He was close to the corner, so he could have gone for the Chico, gone for a little bit of extra damage. I see you, big man.
Mm-hmm. Bonchan taking your tech. Using it right here, Street Fighter League. One more touch of step kick. That counter couldn't finish it off. Doesn't matter, drive reversal. Light kick, excuse me, not even step kick, just to check the challenge. Set point. Okay, Bonchan, I see the vision with this character. With one eye.
Oh, we do get the trade combo. We got the tie bow intact, raising the knees, Billy Blanks. Nemo does get the cycle punishment 2. Level 2, pretty impactful now. Bonchan waking up with the Tiger Raid. A little bit of Tiger Greed, if you ask me. Bomb has been planted. Also, only up to level 1. OD uppercut still a threat. Checking the drive rush. Counter it. Not the combo he was looking for. He didn't want to go into like any sort of cancel. Any sort of drive rush cancel. That's kind of rough. Bonchan getting smoked. Nemo actually getting rather lucky with that drive rush not being severely punished or gone for like a side switch for the side of Bonchan. It could have been like crouching medium punch into like maybe a Tiger knee. It could have been crouching medium punch, counter hit, crouching jab, uppercut. Bonchan just not ready for it.
He is with the character still. Nemo getting arrested with the crouching light kicks, continuously finding the counter combos. Now the punish counter, Connor trying to counter poke. He's seen the crouching medium punch be that tool. Get got, the bomb is on again. Impact, whoa, really? Oh my God, Nemo gonna finish off with the stand fierce level 1. It's a nightmare right now for Bonchan. And it's a perfect KO, 7 point, swinging back in favor for Nemo.
Driver on in. Let's check the low Tiger shot. I couldn't even tell if that was plus. I didn't see the screen shake, but that was just probably me.
Yeah, I don't know if it was. He didn't take against him regardless, though. No shot. Stand light kick right after. He trying to drive rush up. That button is ready. And we thought the fireball was coming through. Caught him ducking. I mean, it's going to be happening a lot. Try to charge him against the fireball. So I do like that he's recognizing that, taking his plus frames when he can. The sweep is able to land. That burns him out. Closer and closer towards the corner. Not where you want to be. Reversal jab. The trade. Nothing in favor of the side of Bonchan. Instead, it's Nemo. Damn. Level 2. Punisher.
Damn! What a quick turnaround for Nemo. starting things off with a perfect and then fully downloaded into the following round. Yo, Bonchan, I see the progress, I see the potential, but big man, we gotta take him back to the lab, right? Take the L's right now, that's totally fine. Let's take it to the lab, big fella.
You know, I think Saga's gonna be one of those characters that, like, you gotta understand the matchups to a team, almost like Akuma in some ways. For him to really be effective, it's gonna take some time. I understand. And then with the pop off, bro, come on now. You've been playing Bison since like the character drop. Come on now, let's not get too happy. Come on now, let's relax. We need a little bias. Let me some Saga.
I mean, he be juggling other characters, right?
Oh yeah, you're right.
He be juggling.
You do be juggling. He does have other characters.
Yeah, so I mean, there was a lot of promise here, right? I mean, like Bonchan also like forcing a lot of guesses from the side of Nemo, at least in the very beginning, with like the threats of like parry, the threats of the uppercut. But I think there's a lot to kind of like talk about in regards to like Nemo's pace afterwards. Like Nemo kind of knew that if there was any big risks he does take on offense, Bonchan might not be ready for it with an optimal combo. So it's like, if I keep getting these chances to drive rush on in, I'm gonna keep taking it, right?
Oh yeah, the sweeps and things like that too as well. They went unpunished. You know, I feel like again, you notice that the person's new with the character, or you know the character's new. You're gonna take this more often than not. So 20 so far for Saishunkan Kumamoto. Despite the fact that Crazy Raccoon has such a good start, this may be a bad finish. Don't want to jinx it. Don't want to prophesize no demise. Shoot though. It's up to him to at least tie things up, to at least get an extra game right after that, where Dogura could clean up, possibly with the Elena, but that's going a little too far because we're gonna see who's gonna come up here. I think Machibo would be a good pick for a first, a 3 against Shoot though. Okay.
I like Machibo coming up next for the anchor. Shuto going in. Machibo has actually played Ryu, right? Like the last week, if I'm not mistaken. Machibo definitely rocked the Ryu.
I feel like if you're gonna pull out somebody that is so adept at the aerial approach, you gotta pull out the anti-air master to fight him. Machibo has been known to anti-air and understand the aerial game more than most people, and has written, excuse me, whole documents on that stuff. So this guy has been a classic fighting game player for a long time, so I feel like he's very prepped and prepared. And honestly, one of those matchups where I feel like on paper, it's not that bad for Akuma until he gets hit. Because everybody got a plan to get drive rush, stand fierce, or hit with the Hashokeki, counter combo into 50-60% of your life. That's just how it be as Ryu, and even more so for, unfortunately, Akuma. And there are tools that you can use as Ryu to get things started. Obviously, you don't have the same range on some normals, on your drive rush. Your fireballs, in some ways, a little bit weaker. But donkey kick, if they're able to hit, OD fireball as well, able to contest, likes of Akuma. And again, this man's good on the anti-air, so I think that Demon Flip game is not going to be as strong as per usual. Shooters gonna have to switch it up.
Ryu's definitely got some decent range. He's got a pretty extensive roundhouse. He has like the Shoto Fierce. I think it's in different ways he has range. He has some obnoxious tools, exactly like you were talking about with like donkey kick, right? Like he'll have similar tools. It may not be as blatant, but he's definitely got some range to him. I think the biggest difference between Akuma and Ryu is the potential corner carry and damage output based off of resources spent. Like Akuma could do a lot more damage in corner carry without the meter in comparison, or at least with meter less spent in comparison to Ryu. But if Ryu does get a single hit, it does hurt, right? Like mid-screen, corner, etc. So there are some like pretty blatant differences between the two.
I'll give that. Ryu definitely got that stand fierce. Definitely ran about it. His crouch meter kick is pretty long too as well. 8 frames, but still got a lot of range on it, so I can't forget about that. You're right. He does got the distance to fight this character.
I'm almost certain they have the same exact range for low medium kick. I might be tripping, but I want to see like I'm gonna check out like where the actual hitboxes are on both. I know there's a website that actually shows you the number of the ranges, so I might actually be tripping. You might actually be right on that. I might actually be tripping.
I know Ryu is long as hell though, because that one simplified me because I was like, the animation doesn't reflect. It doesn't reflect the crouching medium kick at all in terms of like the range. Like I know he juts forward, but it's a lot longer than what it looks like. I know like Terry's up there, Dre's up there, whatever. But regardless, I do think you're right in the general regard of that he does have range. Like compared even to Akuma, he gets to go toe to toe with him. How this is going to play out, though, I'm wondering if Shuto will access that Demon Raid, you know, sort of gameplay that we know him for. How is his ground game going to be? And we know that he is really good about the stutter step. You see him like moving like this, where he's like always stuttering like back and forth. It's to avoid the lows continuously and to kind of hide his movement a little bit. That's what he told me. It's also looking really weird. It's really hard to gauge where he's going to be at any point. So how's Macho going to deal with this? Macho with a new on the Ryu, excuse me, and Shuto, the new guard. See how this goes.
I was looking at Ultimate Frame Data. Their low medium kicks look mad similar. But I think Ryu might have the edge by a little bit.
Saw it right there with a crouch heel kick punish to start things off.
Already into burnout is Shuto. Does get the punish counter. That's -4, so still within range. Wait, am I tripping? No, Ryu's is -10, right? Or -12, that's what it is. So, yeah, my mistake. I don't know why I thought that was like an 8 frame, like a -8 sweep. I don't know why I'm tripping off of that. But yeah, Ryu's definitely got a -12 sweep. My fault, gang, my fault.
It's early, it's all good, it's all good. Macho taking the first round so far. No whip punish there. Don't get, yeah, you're too close, and honestly, that's way too negative. Still able to take advantage, get the throw right after. Drive rush overhead. Not a lot of bar spent just yet on the terms of ducking out the damage. There's a stand pierce. Okay, that does got range. Never mind. Let me never down play the character again. My mistake. Yo, watch the bar. Watch the health and the drive gauge. One more interaction.
Oh! Caught him by surprise. Yeah, Macho's got so much to work with right now. Shuto trying to climb up that mountain. He does have level 3, so he can make it happen. But not without drive gauge, I would imagine. Ooh. Oof.
Oh, good minute.
Counter hit again! Level 2? More than enough. Damn, my man Shuto is efficient with meter.
Down to this. Just a little bit more bar in his pocket. As you mentioned, getting better about utilizing the bar. Canceling for like drive rush conversions and things like that. Taking some shimmies off. Macho not biting though. Stand pierce and a donkey kick. Meterless for the corner carry. Wakes up with that stand line kick. And play, but no, again, no bite. Macho is not going to go for no throw. No reversal. Udo's still pressing the issue.
Damn, the punish counter. We started to play footsies. You see that? Back-to-back light kicks being shown off from both ends. Shuto coming out on top. What looked to be very much so in Machabo's favor, just based off the paper. Really turns around from Shuto. And I'm liking that adaptation.
Shuto also playing a lot more grounded base, which again, he understands the risk that could happen. I guess not only like a story player like this, but if you jump long, jump medium punch, and the big lead up, able to find these confirms, and again, keep the bar up as much as possible. Be able to get the win. Not overextending right now at all, just backing up, trying to find that forward pierce. Drive reversal offensive style. Fill up in the corner for a while. And a medium overhead. Perfect parry, not can't go for seconds. Going to die in.
Side switch TP. Yo, crouching heavy punch. Yo, I'm back-to-back punishments again. Now into the throw. You could get the burnout. DI, ain't no way he's gonna spend that level 1. Machabo getting away scot-clean. What a delay to use crouching heavy punch and catching the counter hit against Shuto.
That's knowledge, and it's optimal. That's about the combos. Toss it towards the corner. Oh, he went for the throw instead of going for the button. He had the counter combo. Shuto biting back. A bit deep in the guillotine, delays the crouching kick, but no conversion right after, though. I think proper, at least. Oh, too far for the sweep.
Ooh. Perfect parry. Not gonna go for the back throw. Instead, the roundhouse. Oh, the delay. That could have been so much worse for Machabo. And you know what? Shuto, he's going to run with it. Level 2. This is looking so similar to game 1. Shuto is on fire with these very, very big second chances.
Yeah, that's kind of the biggest thing right now is like Machabo, if he commits to a button right after the sequences, he should kill Shuto. He's going for the throw, not committing. See if he does now. Forward heavy kick, throw one kick. ODDP for the reversal. Shuto, that return over C. Driver's adamant fist on him. Trying to press a button. He knows that he's good on this reaction. Typical stuff for an Akuma player. That level 2 is all juiced up too as well. Get him towards the corner. Safe jump set up. Even with the bar, he might be able to actually kill.
Possibly, right? I mean, with level 2, he doesn't have enough drive gates to go into level 3, but it's still down to 1 hit for both players. Mochibo sitting on level 3, by the way, too. Had to keep it safe as Shuto, very expensive at that, but a single hit confirmed still so dangerous. You see the buffers from Shuto. Fireball is not going to be on the table for Mochibo, except for OD. Oh, so close. You saw the start of a Fireball. Shuto's not fast enough. Mochibo, what a call out. So scary and so dangerous.
Mochibo said, I'm quick with it, I'm quick-witted. This man timing the fireballs perfectly. But Shuto couldn't even get one out. But whipping in the night. We're getting any advantage. No sweep at all. I stand like able to whip punch that crouching middle kick. Mochibo with the bust out. Maybe been one of the first ones we've seen thus far. Might be wrong. Forward fierce neutral jump. Knew he was going to come through that distance off the backboard. Target combo have to get Tatsu, of course. You're up in the corner. Walk up throw on the recovery.
Strong start for Shuto. And a huge side relief to reset. Mochibo getting mauled up in the corner. You thought the overhead was coming. Mochibo with the great reactions and intuition to go for the low medium kick to stop their drive rush delayed. Adamant fist getting blown up. Meaty fireball. Let me get that throw.
That bust out gave him some distance. It'll be worth it though. The trap case looking a little bit depleted and deleted. Trying to find a time to tap parry. Tatsu after the low. Empty nothing. Really, the sweep and Mochibo taking advantage, and I'll get the punish counter, get the throw. Defense is breaking down Mochibo. Adding game to game, round to round, but he is looking on fire. All momentum shifted back in his favor.
It's kind of rough, man. Trying to go for that sweep in that fashion. Nobody killed. Overhead, taste of your own medicine. We get the target combo charge to the Denjin. Still maintaining the Denjin, could be a little bit problematic now. Shuto is one touch away from death. He's trying to climb back. Does get the big reset off the Adamant Fist or the back throw. Mochibo not ready for it. Denjin no longer on the table, or so I thought. Immediate charge back from Mochibo. Footsies and the big punish. Finish the rest of it. Has to spend level 3. A little bit of an exchange for drive gauge. Shuto has one more shot, and he has to do it off of a drive rush, right? No, he doesn't need to. My bad. You just walked up with intimidating aura? You went for the level 3 like that? He just walked up and looked at you.
Bro, the Ryatsu got to him. Pressuring him. So I can't take it, I gotta bust out. He was hoping to kill with that super, but man, walk up, block and drop. Shuto, game point. So I wanna see Dogura play. For Pierce, and with the Tatsu, of course, up in the corner. Making these moments count is the name of the game here for Shuto. As I say this with DP, trying to play a button, got busted on out with the ODDP. Oh, back walk. Out of there. No drive rush, perfect parry after the driver jab, nothing there.
Visual signs of frustration for the set of Mochibo, by the way. Yeah, he is pressing buttons where he's not even allowed to. Shuto graciously drops the combo, forgiving Mochibo of previous sins. Dude, Mochibo has done nothing but whiff those last 3.5 touches, by the way.
That is not the Mochibo we know. The frustration that Shuto, not even just Akuma, but Shuto can put on. Oh no! Cross reset not working out there. Get Tatsu is the ender after the fireball. Meaty stand medium, I think that's like +4. Where's it? It's not your turn to stand, Pierce. This space out of this corner space is where we're gonna go. DP level 3. Mochibo submitting all the bar, dumping every bit out. That's a lot.
I think like the most you can get off a standing medium kick, just based off of the active frames, probably around like +2, perhaps. If you have 5 active frames, right? I'd have to double check the math on that. The recovery still gets the punish counter. Shuto letting the level 3 rock mad early. I like that, right? You do get a massive life lead. You get, what, 4 bars to your name now? This is pretty huge. And Mochibo looking kind of dry. He might actually be dead. Drive impact. You know, we like that. I like Akuma in Burnout against another burnt out character because of Adamant, right? Damn. there you have it. Shuto bringing the team back from the brink of a blowout.
How many times have we talked about Shuto just being in anchor position? It's so beneficial for him. Like, he gets that warm up, that energy. He loves that stress. He loves putting on the violence to bring his team back from the brink, and we do so right now. We do get that extra game. But yo, shouts out to making someone like Machibo just look so scared and defenseless in the corner so continuously. He is whipping it felt like he whipped every button. He done showed every button. Some buttons I didn't even know you had. But that just shows how much Shuto can put on pressure, the fireballs. You don't even need the demon flips. You got the spacing with the forward fierce, the stand fierce, the walk-up crouching light kicks, and the walk-up block of all things. This guy is crazy.
Yeah, I don't trust demon flips against the Shoto, right? Like, having access to a DP is always going to be such a threat and terror. But Shuto played the ground game so well, right? I think there's a lot to kind of talk about in regards to Akuma's block speed, forcing a lot of errors from the side of someone like Machibo, right? In that final instance, in like the second to last round, he whipped so many normals just off of Shuto, emanating that threat of the walk speed. In fact, we even saw that level 3 coming out from way left field just because of the fact that Shuto walked up to him and already closed the gap within throw range so quickly, man. Insane.
Wow. Man, again, if I was ever going to play Akuma, it'd be like Shuto. He just seems like he's having the most fun and putting the most pressure with this character. He's just so much fun to watch. That brings us to the final game. So we do see Elena already on the screen. No Bison pick at all to start things off. Only to start things off. And of course, you have to pull out your last person. That's going to be Kosa, the side of Saishunkan, so Kumamoto. I don't know how Ken or Ryu Elena go. I imagine. Man, I don't know. I actually can't tell. I don't get to see this matchup too often, so I guess we're going to learn on the fly. Ken.
It's going to be the Ken.
Okay.
I kind of wonder, what is it about Ken that makes it the better choice against Ryu, specifically against the Elena matchup? I genuinely do not know. But I guess if we were to kind of talk about it, or like force to talk about it,
okay.
I want to say I kind of appreciate the quarter carry that Ken does have off of some of these hits. That's about it, and the pressure. Like, that's literally about it. Like, you could do the same with Akuma, but that's something that he's not really, like, adjusted to just yet. And I think Kosa, he had just picked up Ryu this year, if I'm not mistaken. He did get the W against Fujimura's Mai, so you know it's, like, competent. You know it's ready.
Yeah.
But I wonder why it's Ken specifically against Elena.
Maybe it's because you like the familiarity. You go with the character you've been playing with the most, because you're the most confident with him in situations where you're uncomfortable. Like, you've only been playing the Ryu, as you mentioned. I only see it since, like, at least like a tournament, like a CEO. And it wasn't bad. And obviously, beating Fujimura, you're not going to be bad at all. But, like, in terms of, if I'm not fought a matchup, I'm going to play a character win or lose, or in terms of like a matchup, I'm going to play a matchup where I'm more comfortable with the character because I've been playing them for years upon years. I've developed them. It's a tech monster. So, like, I would rather go with that route first, at least to start things off. But again, I don't know this matchup in terms of like who wins or like the spacing. I don't get to see it too often because there's so few Elena players. You know, shouts out to Pax. He's really the only one I can really like get data from in terms of like individual matchups or like tech and stuff like that. Obviously, Dogura's out here, Sako, and you know, Ultra Kote when he be playing the character. But I need to see more of these matchups at like high level and like tournament time. Dogura says though, I played and lost against Kosa in the first year of Street Fighter 6. Shuto let me play, so I'll get a chance to get revenge. And Kosa said, all the games were really good games, so I'll do my best to do so as well.
I kind of wonder, maybe it's the pressure Ken presents that doesn't allow Elena to kind of like play. It couldn't be Ken's presence in neutral that doesn't allow Elena to act second. I really am not too sure. Very much so unexplored territory, but we get it here first for the first time, or like the second time, I should say, within the same day here in Street Fighter League Japan.
Kosa has him up in the corner. Trying for the shimmy game, not gonna overcommit too much too often. Backs off before he did drive rush jab and a button. This time he waits.
I love this fit, by the way. Easily one of my favorite outfits. I mean, I'm a big classic man myself. Like, I love seeing Elena in the classic outfit, but this one actually is so well designed, man.
Pass actually goes hard. Oh, ducking, unfortunately. Can't even get on block. Easy punish, try to go for the throw right after the Yoki. Gets teched instead. Shimmy finally works out there. Kosa will take the first round.
Round 2. Fight.
Pretty convincing start from the side of Kosa. Like, what happens if the opponent doesn't swing out with the intentions of like trying to bait reactions? Oh, okay, I lied to you. He does get the whiff punish. Dogura absolutely ready.
So it's Kosa. Wakes up, gets the target combo, chin buster, side switch. Not gonna play too many big buttons right here. No one crushing medium punches got nerfed in a way that even the likes of Elena could easily punish. Walk up, throw up the tap parry attempt. Okay, hold on. Now we're waking up with good buttons.
Absolutely. Also trying to be a little bit overzealous too from that wake up. Now trying to chase down. I love the walk feed on Elena as well to kind of clear out the distance and force the whiffs from Ken. Damn, son.
You dirty man.
That's tough.
Low in the DI in the dead.
Dogura, he knows it too. Like, he put his hand on his face. He has like a sly smirk on him. He's like, man, I'm not that old, am I?
The gray hairs start forming. The wrinkles start forming too as well. Oh, he can't believe it. But honestly, the pressure that Kosa puts on in the corner, you look at the kid's buttons just in general and how Kosa likes to operate, how he likes to shimmy. I feel like it hit people under 32 as well. It's fine. It's fine, Dogura. I understand. But, man, it might have to be a switch to Bison. I feel like at least Bison can run the neutral with this character a little bit more effectively, and the reward that Bison gets is a lot more obvious and ominous. He puts the bomb on, it's a win condition, he goes from there. I feel like you can contest in the neutral a little bit more confidently as Bison, at least from what I've seen and what I've played at least too as well. I feel like Bison can go toe-to-toe a lot more in the neutral more effectively and drive rush a lot more. You know, drive rush jab, drive rush medium, those are gonna be more effective things than what Elena might do in terms of her drive rush pressure.
Elena can do all that.
Yeah.
Also, I think she has like the capability of doing so, but I think she's just so like drive rush cancel reliant for a lot of like the corner carry stuff, in my opinion. So I don't really see a lot of Elena's trying to do like big drive rush forward into like normals to initiate.
Yeah.
I think she saves that meter. Like, she's so hungry for meter to get like big conversions into the corner carry most of the time. But we'll see. I do agree with like Bison being able to kind of like play the Street Fighter 6 game of drive rush into whatever button to catch people off guard, or even like drive rush scissor kick, right? I'm not too sure if Elena has those type of capabilities as well in terms of like being able to stop the drive rush checks, but either way, Dogura opting to go for the timeout. Very imperative that he does so because the team does have one. Keep in mind, Kosa, he was rocking Ryu last week. He got the big 2-0. Coming back to the Ken now in the extra match. Looking still pretty lucrative.
Finish it off. Trying to find extra for the overhead, not happening. All drive rush jab again to stand light kick at the counter, but nothing. No follow up, no Jinrai. The counter this time though. Run DP saves the bar, goes to the Oki. Another shimmy, the back step of the stand fierce. Trying to go for it again. This time not on time and full, but he still has him right where he wants him.
Yeah, big punish counter gets the sweep. This is looking way too well informed from the side of Kosa, but it could also be that Dogura is just ill-informed, piloting the character like Elena.
That's true. So looking very, very confident right now. I mean, he's been together for so long, he's developed him. All right, to get the shimmy though. Rhino horn, scratch wheel. Jumps back, but ODP was there to meet him. Eat some damage. Oh, I got a reversal too.
Damn, what a sweet call out.
Really?
Does it again. Do get the drive rush option select. Overhead. No conversion off of that. It wasn't meaty enough. Scratch wheel still being able to reach the distance and also the walk speed in combination. Not too bad. Dogura still staying alive within this game.
It's a lot more effectively. And again, as you mentioned, not seeing a lot of that. I'm going to drive rush up, initiate pressure, just trying to walk down, trying to find the head confirm into a drive rush DRC cancel. Oh man, a heavy punch kind of would have been great there. Get nothing at all. Leg lock with the throw. Now trying to press the issue. Kosa just jumping back twice. Like, I'm not trying to be put up in the corner at all. Gonna make sense. We've seen what this character can do.
Yeah, this is the nature of the character right now. Somebody had mentioned, you know, Elena pretty much playing at the back foot majority of the time. And that's, I feel like, just the nature of Elena, right? She's more of like the counter-poking style. I don't think she's really one to initiate. Her normals aren't really like meant for that. She could kind of poke away from further distances, I guess like single hits, but nothing impactful. Hence why Kosa is still able to get so much out of this. You're out of range for some of these overheads, and you eat a fat with punish.
Dash up the block, smart guy go for the OD fireball. It could have been impossible. Bust out with a super. Raw sweep works out. Drive impact again. Are you kidding me, Kosa? Respect your elders. Come on, bro. Bow. Green lock. The reversal on wake up to put Dogura to bed. That's gonna be Kosa with the win. Confident with the bust downs. His execution with the character to execute Dogura. It's gonna be Soul taking over Crazy Raccoon in the final match. That means 30 to 20. However, that does mean they're gonna walk away with a little bit of points. However, Soul taking it. I'll be real. When I talk to production, not what I expected. 100% gonna lay on the ground. Did not expect this at all.
I don't think I called it correctly either. I was definitely one of three. I did call the good 8 squad game. I thought Crazy Raccoon was going to be able to get away with it with Kazunoko, Bonchan, Shuto. Although I didn't know Bonchan was going to pull out the Sagat, but we'll talk about that later on. 0 for 0 when it comes to the drive impacts. Actually, that should be 0 for 3. Well, he didn't utilize any of it, right? So
yeah,
that exact statistic shows off like how many attempts have been made, rather than like countering them. So either way, you got 100% from the side of Kosa. That's the only number you need to know. The fact that Kosa got away with it twice, that's enough. 2 games straight for Kosa, 30 points. For Saishunkan Soul Kumamoto, not too bad for Crazy Raccoon though. It still keeps him in the running within top 3 if I'm not mistaken. But I think this, I want to say, propels Saishunkan Soul Kumamoto to the first place by 10 points.
Wow, early lead. This is so cool though. It's so hard to call who's going to win in a good way. That means every match gets to be one of those where you just don't know. Sometimes, maybe back in the day, you'd be like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna win, or this team's gonna win, or whatever, they're gonna beat them like 30-20 or 30-10, excuse me, and be mostly right. But nowadays, especially like with the past couple of years, it feels like it's way more ambiguous. And this year, the fact that we've 1-3 right now is kind of wild, considering we've been doing so much study on who's coming up and the players. But exceeding expectations is such a good thing out here. You know, some of these players, you know, playing way better than what you might think. Like Kosa even going to the Ken was not something I was expecting. I thought, honestly, even though he'd be more comfortable with the Ken, I thought he'd just go with the Ryu. Like I thought, oh, let's play Ryu. I already played Ryu out here in League. Why not keep that up? But going for the Ken was definitely a different pick. And we're all getting the interviews out here. Kobon, the first game with Kazunoko was really hard for me. I know he does great against Zangief, which we did see, but Kobon was able to bring it back and make. We saw some panic after like that sweep. You saw him play the hell stab and catch the button right after. Very smart stuff to not get too pressured up in the corner. Again, great pick for Nemo to pick up Kobon.
I never thought he had it in him to pick a Zangief player. But he does mention that Kobon having that practice to get that 1W against Kazunoko is pretty impactful, right? Because Kazunoko has had a pretty good long-standing like record against some of the awkward matchups that he has to face, and doing pretty damn well also in general for Street Fighter League. So really good work and good carry from Kobon at the very beginning. I will say, kind of harping on the last topic before we got into the interviews, if I knew Bonchan wasn't going to go Akuma, I would have been like, yo, that's a free 10 points. I just feel like his Sagat's not ready. Like, I genuinely knew like his Sagat wasn't going to be ready if he pulled it out, although I didn't know that he was actually going to commit to it. Right? So, had I known that, it would have been a whole different story. But I did have a strong feeling that Shuto was going to be the anchor, and I had a strong feeling that Shuto would have been the one to take out any of the anchor spots. He's just been looking so sharp this year, whether it's Akuma, whether it's Marisa. Bonchan also backing it up with the Akuma just makes it that much more of a threat. Kazunoko was a little bit of a dice roll. I think more of a coin flip, more so than a dice roll. So I think that was a little bit rough to kind of perceive. So with that in mind, yeah, seeing the Sagat pick, I personally don't think Bonchan was ready for it.
I think he doesn't know how to, because he's so ingrained in how Sagat used to be, as he said on the stream so much, it's hard for him to attach certain things. As you even mentioned, like he went for the heavy DP after that counter hit, and that's not the way to play Sagat now. Someone like Pugera who doesn't have that preconceived notion works out better. I think that's why Pugera is like one that Bonchan's been talking to try to understand how to work the character. Even Nemo says Bonchan was doing too much Sagat this week, and we were thinking that he was going to play. And good thing I prepared for it. Macho also says that I think the moves that I did weren't bad, but I think the macro part was the problem. So the macro, maybe he's talking about the overall general game plan of what he was doing in terms of like trying to initiate offense, maybe also on defense too as well, like trying to strike back with certain punches was not working well. Kosa says, I wasn't intending on playing Ken, but Drive Impact saved the day. The last reversal was a call from Machibo. He read what Dogura wanted to do. He's in the back like, DP him, hit him with the whole DP, it's gonna work. All right, good read, Machibo.
Nice work.
All right.
Very, very nice work.
Yeah,
that is a pretty big ordeal. Like having a whole team behind you too, like having that line of communication open. It really changes up the dynamic of fighting in a single player like CPT event in comparison to like a team exhibition, team tournament kind of thing, right? I'm kind of curious actually what's going to be happening next week. Nemo says next week is against the champions. So that's going to be against Good 8 Squad, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Am I reading that correctly? It is, yeah. So September 19th, Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto are going to be on the away side fighting up against Good 8 Squad. So Nemo says he'll think of dozens of tactics to beat them down. Really excited to see it, as I think both of these teams now are in contention for the top spot. I think SSK, Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto should be taking the top spot. Good 8 Squad should be trailing a little bit behind them because their overall win record of getting a full sweep, like, it's pretty important to note, like, as the games progress, the more wins you accumulate per week, the better it looks in a tiebreaker scenario. And it really comes down to some of these big tiebreaker scenarios almost every single year, where we have to do all the math, we have to do every single W that is counted towards the benefit of that team to figure out what happens. But this is the score right here. Nagoya NTPOJA taking a big clutch W over Victrix Favu Gaming, 30-20. CAG Osaka giving up the big sweep against the champs. Good 8 Squad, 0-40. Still rather close all the way through. And then you just saw the conclusion of our marquee matchup for this week. Crazy Raccoon versus Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto. We had a couple of surprises, not only in score, but also in character selection. Bonchan finally bringing out the big Sagat. Not going to be enough, as Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto fully prepared. This is the current spread, as we had talked about. Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto with 60. It's Nagoya NTPOJA with 50 points. Good 8 Squad also with 50, but it's second and third respectively. That's crazy. Good 8 Squad at the third place right now. Very, very close in spread. Then down below, Crazy Raccoon with 50 points as well. Victrix Favu Gaming with 30. CAG Osaka at the very bottom of the barrel.
It's not even free. Like sometimes I feel like we get into the league and like when it starts off early, some people are getting points at all, they're getting steamrolled, they're getting 40 bomb, whatever. But it's not free at all. Like CG Osaka, they still got 30 points they name. Same with Favu Gaming and Crazy Raccoon. Them being in fourth is kind of wild. Nagoya standing up this season, nice and early, in Seoul in first position is crazy. I know it's early. I know it's only technically the third day of Street Fighter League play for Japan overall. But man, is that insane. To see Seoul shining this far up right now is crazy. And we're now getting the next division right now. The schedule, so write this down. Check it out. Fukushima Ibushingen going up against That Nation Focus Me. Pharrell going up against Zeta. And then, of course, Reject going up against Hiroshima Hiroshima Team Itsuka, excuse me, it is too early for me, but it is going to be some early action, and I'll still wake up for it because, man, these have been some fantastic fights. We're also going to get the next division here in a second, so screenshot this, write it down. Of course, Crazy Raccoon, Nagoya NTPOJA, Seoul versus Good 8 Squad, and as mentioned, Fabu Gaming versus DAG Osaka. A race to leave out of the bottom for a lot of these players out here, a lot of these teams out here, and to get out of that contentious area, because you want to do it soon as you mentioned, get as many wins as your pocket as you can, because you do not want to be lacking. As you mentioned also, it was so hard to calculate who's going to make it through. It was some points where Saishunkan and Kumamoto was by mere games. So get a good early start.
Yeah, absolutely right. You want to make sure every one of these games count. Nagoya NTPOJA definitely making it count, making it rather close in week number 1. Hence why they are currently in the second place position with the current match spread, right? They actually managed to take it down to a tie ball game and still retain their points. So really, really impressive at the fact that they're in second place. And Crazy Raccoon, big shocker, man, with the way things rolled out this week. Didn't really expect them to see at the bottom, but that's just how it plays out sometimes. Still plenty of weeks to go. A reminder for you guys at home, September 9th going into week number 2 for Division F. That's the last time we'll see some Street Fighter League before our big major UFA happening in France. You guys do not want to miss it as a big part of the Capcom Pro Tour, hence why we have a little bit of a break afterwards rolling into Division S. You see the difference going in from September 9th into September 19th. The big UFA weekend on the 13th and the 14th, it's going to be so sick to watch. I'm super excited about it. I want to make sure that I stay up in all the DGen hours with each and every one of you. I want to show love to my EU brethren as well to make sure you guys catch all the action. So take a screenshot. This is what the calendar is going to look like. October, super packed, by the way. We got 2 big premieres plus a handful of different World Warrior recaps. Esports, the Street Fighter 6 Esports Spotlight is what it is officially. Yeah, you saw Evo France in October. You see the end of October into November, which is the CPT Asia premiere in Chengdu, China. Then it's back to business. Every single week in November, we're going to have so many games to play of both Division F and Division S.
I can't wait for it. I know y'all can't wait for it too. As mentioned, take a screenshot, prepare, because we're going to have so much league action, so much Street Fighter action from the land of Japan, and Warrior starts for them too as well on the 17th, if I'm not mistaken. So catch all that coming up and start getting your picks in terms of who's going to take it for the league and for the singles tournament. But that's been it for me. That's been it for also Vicious, but we got one more to slide to show you right here. Of course, as mentioned, there it is. The World Warrior, pull it up. Make sure y'all stay up. I mean, you already stayed up for this, so you might as well stay up for this action right here for the World Warrior. The very first one that they're going to be having, I guess. The very first one. That's actually crazy to say. As other people are in their like 4th ones, they're starting their first one right now. Wow.
That's wild. They got 2,000 entrants in their tournament, and it's a 1-day tournament. I do not imagine nor envy the tournament organizers, but what I do envy are the people that get to go to these public viewings for the official World Warrior Japan week number 1. We got Aru, we got Hameko, and I do believe that's Storm Kubo with his debut as commentator going into it. Well, it's not like his first debut, I guess, but it's definitely within the confines of a Capcom Pro Tour. So I'm very excited seeing Storm Kubo transition over to the commentary role with 2 esteemed hosts and commentators themselves. Really, really excited about that. Again, week number 1 coming up this weekend for Japan. You guys definitely don't want to miss out. The actual number is 2,357 entrants. Dear Lord Almighty, that is a lot. That is a full-blown major, by the way. That is nearly half of EVO numbers. Just to remind you, that is actually wild. Well, pretty sick stuff to see all around. I hope you guys enjoyed another week of fully packed action of Division S here at Street Fighter League Pro Japan. We'll catch you guys for the next one happening next week. Thank you guys all. Be safe. We'll see you next time.
重要な第2節先鋒戦。しかしうまく打ち返した。さあホームランもある。シメおっとここでうまく芯を刺した。
オッケーナイス。
これで中足圏内か。どうなん？裏。 こで裏回りでの大パンチを久しぶり待ち。
ストックあるんで球も打ちづらいですね。
4つありますかね。さらにはまた先ほどの
かくった。ナイス。はい。
一応 K。
いや、これでかなり KB ペース。
えらい。さあ玉抜けに対して
これ3件触るんじゃないか。
さあこのまま
いいサルだ。
SAB 2円バナ桜。さあ KB まさかの圧勝。これで両者20点獲得というところで。
ナイスか。
いややばい、俺ちょっと強いかも。ナイス
ゲージも試す。ああ、中和した。
ここで中足をねじ込んだ大谷。疾風陣来客でしっかりとリーサルを取り切り、延長戦制したのはアウェイ名古屋 NTP 王者。
いやー、ごめん。
いや
ディビジョン S 第2節チームマッチ 2CAG 大阪対グッドイートスクワットの模様をお届けしてまいります。きたー、ここではアブネジアをしっかりと警戒していた川野。2択。さあここでパリーを釣り出した。うわー、2タッチ必要か。うわー、オーディサイクアッパー、インパクト。さあサハラエータに対して3セット目禁じ手と言えるような画面端インパクト。おっやったチミ入っての歩き投げ。触っている。そしてガチクがバナート
して走って倒しきる。
リーサルトライブの回復を待っているのがガチク。あ、ここは動いた確認か。
ごめん。いや、仕方ないです。仕方ないです。今のは。これは。
よかった。ナイス。
なんか、ナイスって感じ。
ナイス。ナイス。
温度感やばいね。
ナイス。
そしても OK ですが、打撃をしっかりねじ込んだ。チーム一丸となってインターバルを取りつつ見事小林先鋒戦を制しました。
ありがとうございます。ナイス。
最高の試合だった。
中足。
さあネモもマーケージと返していきます。ついてくる。
上がった。SH のたまるの
SH
まだ残るか。
バーンアウトは継続ですかね。
減ったいや、ボンチャの動きがなかったんですけど、
暴れています。目の前で暴れてる人います。
うわ、
行くんか。うわー、行くんか。
いやー、ごめん。
いやー、どまい。
ギリギリの戦い。
ガードが早い。
威力差もつきました。
逆タック中足とかが一番嫌ですかね。シュートやられては
打ってきたがリバーサルということで
一番いいかも。
さあここからゴリゴリと削ってくる。動けない。
完璧。
いやー、ごめん。ナイス。おっしゃー。
インパクト。
もうインパクト。もうインパクト。
さあのドライブ若干は残っています。打っていった。ここでオーディション。
早いな。なるほどな。まあわからんでもない。すばん。オッケー。
間に合った。ありがとう。ありがとう。アドバイス間に合った。間に合った。